All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today, my friend?
Yeah, I'm okay. Do I have an open wound? Am I okay? I think because there is blood everywhere, people. Oh my God. The light at the end of the tunnel has been shut off by the U.S. federal government globally, and there is no hope. We're doomed. No, I don't know. It's what a morning though. Oh my God! Welcome to day 2. It is. Can you believe that it was a week ago today that we were prepping for the TEDx conference? We were looking, we were elevating our spirits. We went through a whole dress rehearsal a week ago today. Where are we now? What has happened? Oh my goodness, it is terrible out there. I don't even know what to do.
The humanity, as my good buddy Brian would say. The humanity.
That's as Brian would say. Indeed.
Yes. Guys, as we look across the board here, here is our gappers list. Oh, wow, look, something came in the green of 20%. We'll see what that's about. Low flow ICCT, 1.6 million shares flow. So we'll see what's driving that up this morning. Again, these low flow stocks don't care about what's going on with the overall market. They be doing their wild thing. NMAX, as we saw, a couple of days has been doing whatever. Again, very dangerous tickers to trace. So just be careful with those. Be really careful with these lower flow stocks. So everything on the gap down today, guys. So we'll dive into all of that. Just like yesterday, our usual suspects are all on here today. As more tariff news continues to drive things lower this morning. So let's take a look at our U.S. economic calendar before we get to these tickers and see what's happening for today. Actually, we got some data came out just a couple of minutes ago.
Indeed. A couple of numbers that came out. The hourly wages right on target at 0.3%. You can see there mid-list. Unemployment rate slightly higher than expected, but pretty much in line, 4.2 versus the 4.1 expected. The aberration or the interesting number was this non-farm payrolls that came out significantly above expectations. 137,000 was expected, 228. I'm honestly not exactly sure what that means. I mean, is that a sign of new jobs? Is it a short-term thing? Not really sure. I mean, it's the change in number of people employed during the previous month, so excluding the farming industry. So, all right, so there you go. So that's good. Hey, look, there's some good news. That's awesome. I'm not sure that anybody cares, or I'm not sure the market really cares overall. What the big news that's probably going to move the market, and you need to keep your eye on, is at 11:25 or shortly thereafter, right? Powell is going to speak. And notice that we've got a bunch of Fed speakers that seem to be hitting the trail. 11:25, noon, 12:45, a couple later this afternoon. Powell is coming out, and that is I can smell it, guys. Oh yeah, that's market movement coming. I think the market is going to move as a result of that. The fact that I think this is unscheduled. I wasn't aware that Powell was scheduled to speak today. So the fact that he's hitting the circuit today, and of course the timing is not coincidental. I've got to believe his intent is to try and calm the markets. Well, maybe this is scheduled. Let's see, March. April 4th. Okay, yeah. So it was scheduled. I'm wrong. But anyways, I'm sure the intent, of course, because that's the job of the Fed, is to manage and maintain stability as much as possible with the U.S. economy. He's going to be working hard. Will there be a rate cut announced? Will he say we're holding? We're going to wait and see. There's a lot of uncertainty because keep in mind, some of the tariffs, we were talking about this yesterday, and everybody was saying, tariffs went in place as of the announcement, because I thought it was coming at the 5th I was reading a different articles this morning that claim that a lot of the tariffs don't take effect until the 9th. So I'm not sure, honestly, when these things are coming into effect. It doesn't really matter, quite frankly, because we all know there's going to be an intent to negotiate and the opportunity to make some changes. Now, the Fed is not scheduled to announce a rate cut today, May the 7th. So we still have a month until the next scheduled rate announcement. And by the way, sentiment on that has changed significantly. When we were last looking at it, sentiment was around like 98%. There was no cut. Obviously, things have changed drastically over the last couple of weeks. The sentiment is now looking at only 56% believe that the Fed is going to hold the current rates, and 43.6, almost 44%, are thinking that there's going to be a quarter point cut when the next rate comes out in a month. Again, this could continue to change drastically as this situation evolves. What we can tell, markets overall, North American markets down by 3%. Well, actually, it's gotten a little better because we've come up off the lows where we were sitting at 730. Sitting at about 2.4 in the SPY, 2.7 on the Qs, but down for a second day in the row. And as one of our members was mentioning in the room, we do have to sort of zoom out on this picture and keep some perspective. You bet, over the last 2 days, it's significant. I mean, yesterday was the largest drop since 2020 and the pandemic hit. But we haven't had a lot of big drawdown type events, right? Other than since the pandemic. But as was being pointed out, if you go back 1 year to the day and look at where we were, we haven't bridged that level yet. So yes, we've lost some altitude, and yes, the markets are rightly concerned, but we haven't got to the point where we're we sort of lost a year's worth of gains. Now, what a year it was, though, right? I mean, we had some pretty significant gains over the last year, so even going back to that level is a big pullback. But look, I mean, we're all just observers. What I'm looking for is trading opportunities, and this type of market does provide them. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this over and over because I think we all need to hear it and remember it. Don't assume a direction. Yes, we're red this morning. Yes, it feels. I was sort of joking about we're all doomed, but I mean, yes, it feels bad. But remember yesterday, right? What did yesterday look like? Right? We were red yesterday, and we popped up right off the open and saw some early gains. That could have been enough to ruin your day, couldn't it? Right? I mean, it doesn't matter that it ended up selling off, and for the most part, we sort of ended up, flat to lower on a lot of things, flat from the open, that is, right? But like, again, we're about trading, and you've got to find those trading opportunities. Your opportunities could be long today, right? Let the price action dictate your moves. Don't presuppose it. So with that, let's take a look at what's gapping, and we'll talk about specific tickers.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's take a look at this gap. It says, guys, brought to you by tradingterminal.com. First one leading the way is GOGL. The one that gapping up disappeared. So gap down list, GOGL. We'll look at that one. What is this? Oh, this is the confusing ticker.
Confused people?
Yeah, confused people in a golden ocean, which is, don't be confused by an O that's missing there. Exactly. Golden Ocean. We've seen this before. It doesn't trade very well. Foreign ticker. So I'm going to keep it off my list. There'll be better things to look at, Peter. I'm not sure you even have anything on this. What's the latest and greatest?
I mean, they had an announcement yesterday that they were going to hold their AGM on May the 8th. But other than that, I don't really see any news. I don't know why. Maybe it's just chance this happens to be at the top of our list. Doesn't look like a good trader anyways.
Yeah, it's a horrible trader. And I'll tell you, if you own a company, now is the time to report all your frauds and all your issues. Report them now, leak them now. So, people are not going to care as much. Don't do it later. Don't do it when the market starts going up. If you have issues and you're a company, now is the time to let people know what's going on, and nobody's going to care much because everything is down. So somebody in Bloomberg was saying that, found it hilarious. I'm like, that's a good point. All right, so there it is, guys.
Absolutely true.
Bad news.
If you've got bad news, you got to call off your forecast. You have to restate your numbers. Yeah, now's the time, baby.
Yeah, now's the time. So then you can be ready for the bounce. All right, friends, let's take a look here. We are look at the next one. Is going to be That's another great ticker. MUFG. What is this? MUFG. Oh, it's Mitsubishi. Oh, this is the one with the financial thing. Another horrible trading ticker. I don't want to spend time with this, man. I want to get to the good stuff. Peter, you have anything on this? I mean, it's just popped up here.
Look, it's
It
sort
just
of, I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense to me that this would be down. I mean, this is Mitsubishi Manufacturing. They are, Mitsubishi Financial Group, not manufacturing, financial group. But they finance heavy equipment, large corporate purchases, very international business, very directly impacted by tariffs and probably a reduction in spending, especially on big ticket capital purchases. So it sort of makes sense. I mean, banks have all been hit. They sort of act as a bank, right? A financial group. So I mean, I get it why they're down, but like you said, Carlos, not a great trader. So
yeah, this is as people are saying in the chat. This is a no, 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 no. We're actually going to roll the truck on this garbage. And we'll definitely look for something else. So, all right, let's take a look something else here. We are looking at a trading terminals gappers list. Affirm. Let's see what Affirm is up to. They're down today 10%, 467,000 shares traded. Again, I'm just thinking overall market drop. I'm not seeing anything spectacular on it. And even the volume is not looking great. So although they're leading the gappers list here, I'm really not looking at that one at all, Peter. Not sure if this is individual news or something different.
I don't see anything individual. Again, there's going to be a lot that I assume are moving just on speculation, right? Like what we're doing. Everybody out there, from big investors to small retailers like us, they're going to be thinking, where's the deepest impact? Who's going to be hit hardest by this? If you provide, point of sale financing, all right, there's likely less point of sale purchases. And with people in bad financial positions, two things are going to happen. You're probably going to get less financing opportunities as people are going to hold back on the purchases that they need that for. And your default rate is likely to go up, both of which have a direct impact on a firm's business. So makes sense that it's here. Again, nothing specific. It's probably more speculative than anything, but hey, that's what the whole market's doing, right? I mean, the entire market is moving down on the speculation of what the impact of the tariffs are going to be. And we have to remember that because this is entirely a speculative move downwards, sentiment can change rapidly, right? And it could flip-flop, right? Who knows, right? Powell could make it worse and we could go down further at 11.25. He could give a ray of hope and we'll pop up. And then the next thing we'll hear is, who knows? Europe is, increasing their retaliatory tariffs, or China's decided to fight back, or it could be anything. So keep an eye on the news.
Yep, absolutely. I don't know. This is a mini rant right here. Programmers are great. Like they do things that's just like, wait, what? Right? You could tell whoever programmed these emojis here has no clue how the market works. No clue whatsoever. Like you have red going up and you have blue going down. Like, why would you do that? Right? He's probably a great programmer. He's probably an amazing designer. He's probably awesome and can, but what? No clue how the market works, right? So it's interesting because there's a lot of stuff like that in business too. People that program software, they have no clue how the actual individual users does things. And they program things that just make no sense. And that person's one of them right there. All right, back to our list, friends. Peter, I know you've seen that in your regular job back in your previous life many times, right? So, yeah. All right, let's see here. So let's take a look at the gappers list. We got a couple. We looked at the top 5 again. Top 4 not looking great. I want to spend more time on the stuff that we are going to actually look and trade today. So let's look at first JD and Baba. I see a lot of Chinese tickers down this morning, obviously given their tariff of 30%. Look at Baba here today, friends. This is a really nice drop. We're down 8%, 3.3 million shares traded right now. So really like the way this looks very active. And man, this thing dropped a ton. You guys remember they were hanging out above 130, they hit 148, almost 150, and doing very well here. But today they're dropping quite a bit. So again, love this ticker. I'm definitely gonna add it here. on my list. Will definitely be on my primary today. There's some other ones on here that are Chinese tickers. JD's another one of them. Oh, JD looks good. They're down 9.2. They got some decent volume as well, so that's looking all right. I'm gonna put that on my secondary list. Bob will be on my first, and then I see Baidu, PDD. I mean, you name it, they're all on here today. Obviously, Peter, this is with the tariff war going on. 30% Chinese tariff on U.S. imports. It's affected their companies as well. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot going on with some of these companies, right? Baidu's, you got up on the screen, and Baba specifically, they're both in an AI engine war, right? So Baidu's got their Ernie X1 engine. Alibaba's got their own Gwen and Omni sort of AI engines. Everybody seems to be fighting for AI supremacy, which in itself is a little scary, isn't it? Because, I mean, the more we get open source AI, the closer Skynet feels. So I don't know. Just please be careful out there programming your people. Despite Carlos's rant, don't go crazy.
Well, I've been corrected. This guy Primo, he must be a programmer, so he's defending the programmers. He's like, no, that's not the programmer, it's the designer, and he might have a point. Absolutely, he might have a point. So
okay,
yeah, good.
Somewhere there wasn't proper QA testing or user UAT type stuff, user acceptance testing. So, anyways, and somewhere in that process, it broke.
See, only a programmer would know this because he is a programmer. So shout out to you, Primal's taking care of standing up for your people there, speaking up. I love it.
But you know
all
what,
right, friend.
Carlos, having worked in the industry, that's completely typical. I'm not. I mean, he's not wrong, right? So
no, he's not wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But that's the eternal battle, isn't it? Right? It's not the programmers, man. It's the designers. And the designers say, it's not us, man. It's the hardware guys because they couldn't get sufficient equipment. And the hardware guys say, it's not us, man. It's the project managers. And the project manager says, it's not us. Anyways, it's everybody.
It goes down the list.
Anyways, QA was ignored. You're right. QA probably was ignored because they almost always are, right? Oh, no, those changes would be too expensive. Nobody will notice. Well, there you go. Carlos noticed. So,
yeah.
All right. Sorry, back to our Chinese stocks. I mean, look, I'm not sure that the Chinese stocks are moving down directly because of the tariffs. I mean, I'm sure there's an impact. The market's moving down. It's going to take anything trading on the U.S. market down. Baidu and Baba, they actually did fairly well yesterday. Today, they're seeing a little more of a hit. Yes, because China did announce retaliatory tariffs, I think 30 to 34%. And, not a surprise. China's already, made it very clear that they're willing to go toe-to-toe with the U.S. And, and they have, frankly, a lot more freedom to do that historically. When you're not operating in a democracy, you don't really have to worry about public opinion as much. So you can make it happen. That being said, current U.S. administration, they've picked their path and they're forging ahead. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I mean, definitely the heavy, the two biggest players in this are China and the U.S. The U.S. is leading this, and I mean, look, when the U.S. makes a move, the entire world pays attention. So we are in a global, we'll just call it a pullback. It's not a recession yet. It's certainly not a depression, but it's on the verge. There's technical terms at what percentage down do you call things recessionary? And anyways, I don't want to get there because everybody's arguing the numbers. The point is, we are seeing a global reaction to this, and we have no idea where it's going to go. So for the short term, Baba and Baidu and some of these Chinese stickers, I think they could be interesting just as trading opportunities because of the uncertainty, right? They're likely to move and give us maybe some outsized moves. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm thinking that Baba might be something worth putting on a watch list just in case it gives us one of those great moving opportunities up or down, and I'd hate to miss out. Baba.
Yeah, I think today would be a good one.
Every time I say it now, I can't even say it without you guys being in my head. Baba.
Baba, yes. Bubba is the shrimp restaurant, right? The Bubba Shrimp something in New York. Seen that big sign.
Whatever.
I'm not sure if they're still in business.
Yeah,
All right,
you're
friends,
right.
let's see what's going on here. We do have the next one on here. Well, we talked about the Chinese tickers. I do see airlines are down today very nicely. You can see American Airlines on here. American Airlines on here down to $9. So I'll be looking to buy some more of that long-term stuff. United is down as well. As far as day trading, I'm not sure how good they're going to be. I mean, their volume is still really light. So I think there'll be better things to look at. If you do want to trade an airline, I think American seems to have the most volume at 1.6 million shares traded. But again, I think there's better tickers to trade, right? So travel sector, obviously, with everything else taking a hit this morning off this gappers list. Scrolling down here, of course, our Max 7 are all in the red. So I'm going to pick my favorites today. We're obviously going to talk about Tesla. That's been one we've been watching pretty closely. They are down 5.1, 9.6 million shares traded, as you can see on here. So this will be on my list as well. And of course, Nvidia. We've been watching Nvidia quite a bit here. Also a very active 22 million shares traded on Nvidia. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, have we seen those numbers before at this time of the morning? That seems
Yeah. Yeah, they
22
have.
million.
It's been a
Yeah.
little while, but absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, they're definitely on the front lines of this, right? I mean, the chip sector we know is hot. We know that I was surprised to see the depth or how big the tariffs were on Taiwan. So that is having a direct impact, of course. I mean, all of their manufacturing, I think virtually all of their manufacturing is offshore. So, tariffs have a direct impact. That being said, Nvidia is probably one of the best positions of the semiconductor stocks, just because when you're leading the industry, your stuff is still going to be in demand. So as long as they retain technological supremacy, then they get to dictate prices. If prices go up across the board, then they just are what they are. Yes, people might curtail expenditures, but it'll hit them probably slightly less than some of the competitors. I mentioned this yesterday. I'll say it again today. I'm thinking that the bigger impact that we might want to watch are, I'll call them, hopefully not to offend anybody, second tier stocks. So Micron, SMCI, they're going to be hit. Yesterday, Intel, by the way, and TSM, trying to get some good news out there. Didn't really work, but they did announce a partnership. They're forming a new joint venture. Remember, TSM had expressed some interest in running the new fab plant that they're talking about building in the Americas, in the U.S. And TSM had said, yeah, we'll do that for you, which makes sense. And I think it's a good joint venture for Intel and, frankly, for all of those that are part of that consortium. So we don't have to see exactly what that means and how that fleshes out, but they got a little bit of a sort of midday pop. If you look at Intel's chart, they really sort of popped up around 2 o'clock, 2:30 when that announcement came out. So they got a big move up, but sold off again, or at least lost half of that gain by the time the day was done. So Intel got a good boost from it, but wasn't really enough. Was it enough? Actually, it was enough to make them green yesterday. So they were one of the few that ended up green. But I still think that they're going to worth watching, because they're likely to be impacted by the overall tariff news.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this one here, Intel. I'm not sure how great it is. It's interesting.
Yesterday
for sure.
had a great move. If you look at the 5-minute chart yesterday, early afternoon, that move was pretty impressive.
Oh, so, yes, it's really good.
Yeah,
man.
so you got a big pop, and then you got the pull down on the backside of it, which was the move that I was looking to trade. But anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, if you like this one, watch it. I'm not keeping it off the list. I mean, their price action during intraday time for me is not great. So I usually end up watching it and not taking it, or not finding good opportunities on it. So I'm gonna keep it off the list today. They got great volume though. 9 million shares traded today, down 4.7. You know what? Maybe today's their day. secondary for now. We'll put on the secondary list here, Intel, and see how that is going to play out. All right, so wrapping up this gappers list, friends, let's take a look here. Again, all your almost magnificent 7 are on here today. I do see SMCI. We'll look at that because I know you guys like it. And let's take a look at I don't know, POTR. There it is. POTR is down there. And POTR. So SMCI, POTR, and then again, all the magnificent 7 are on here as well.
PLTR is red today. It is one of the. It held up pretty well yesterday, actually. Despite the onslaught compared to many of its, almost everything else, frankly. So yeah, I'm not sure what to expect of it today. I mean, it is down 3%, but that's pretty modest. I mean, yesterday it actually closed. It looks like yesterday it actually closed green. So yeah, not bad, all things considered.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's worth watching. The other one I saw on the list was Hood, Robin Hood, and down 6%, so that's on par. They're at an interesting spot, I think, on the daily, just because they're sitting here at the March lows, and to me this is an inflection point, because if I look at the next logical area of support, we've got a few bucks to go. I think we're going back to October, November of last year area at a minimum, which would take us down about $7 or $8 from the current price level. So I like Robinhood based on the daily. Again, if it shows further weakness, the drop could be big. If it shows some support here, we could be back up over 40. So.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. And Hood can trade very well. We've seen this actually trade pretty decent, so it's one you can definitely take a look at here. All right, friends, I'm going to stop here. Again, I'm going to fill this list with stuff that as we go through the day here. I already have Baba, I have Nvidia, I have Tesla on here, and on my secondary list, I have JD and Intel. I'm going to add Intel as well to this list, so we'll see how those make out. All right, Peter, we'll go to you. I'm leaving some space here to see what you have on deck and anybody else here in the chat, but we'll start with you first. What do you like this morning? I mean, it's a lot to look at. We'll be probably scanning more than putting a list together when we at the market open, but is there anything sticking out that might be your favorite today?
I'm interested in Apple. Apple continues to just be interesting in that it's more, I don't know, it doesn't quite move the exact same way as the other Magnificent Seven and as the market overall. Honestly, not sure why. It used to be that it would mirror the market moves directly or lead it, depending on your perspective. But as I said, I keep just noticing it seems to move, independently a little bit. So that is enough for me to be interested in it. I have to say I haven't really found any trades on it in the last couple of days, but I'll keep an eye. We already talked about Nvidia, PLTR, Tesla, of course, we didn't really mention, but Tesla's always in play. Still continues to be interesting. It's actually held up fairly well. It was really sort of, if you look at a daily on Tesla compared to everything else, which is, big down, this is still in the range of the last week, and it's still holding up above the recent lows that we had at the beginning of March. So I'm sort of surprised to see Tesla hanging out there. So, maybe there might be some interesting opportunity on Tesla. It seems to, I said, have, it suffered maybe early declines because, of course, all the other Elon backlash activity that we saw earlier in March. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect of it, but again, it sticks out a little bit. So it's worthy of some attention. The other one that grabbed my attention, Carlos, this morning, just because it's like one of the only green things on my list, MSTR, MicroStrategy, which is just sitting green this morning. And I'm not sure why. I didn't really find any news on MSTR, why that's the case. And I forgot, they're not MicroStrategy anymore. They're just called Strategy.
They are? They changed their name?
Yeah, you don't remember that? There was it was a few weeks ago.
I don't remember that, no.
Yeah, they rebranded. They all had a big rebranding thing where they decided they now just want to be called Strategy. So, okay. It feels like a teenager deciding that they don't like their name and they're changing it. But in any event, okay, whatever.
Okay, that works.
They can be, whoever you want. Just don't call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Anyways, so strategy, anyways, is green. The other oddity here that is green for no apparent reason is GameStop, and I'm not sure why, but all right. I mean, yesterday? No, 2 days ago. What's the date today? It's the 4th. So it was just yesterday. Yesterday, the CEO announced that he was going into buying more shares of GameStop. It said he was going to purchase 500,000 shares, signaling some confidence in the company. Now, you know, um, I I'm not. Look, the CEO announced he's buying 500,000 shares. Okay, so at $20 a share, so that's $10 million worth. The CEO has 37,347,000 shares. So the fact that he bought another 500,000, cool, but clearly this could be like a PR thing more than anything, right? Like that is not a significant addition to his holdings. It's
Yeah.
like it added an extra. What would that be, like 3%? I don't know. Not even, no, 1.5%, something like that.
It's not. It's
Like so.
nothing. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
cool. I mean, that's the only news I see on it, anyways. But hey, if it's enough to make it green, then I guess he got a deal, right? Because if he bought them at an average price of $21.55. And what are we sitting? Oh well, I guess no. He's down a couple of cents because we're sitting at 21.45. So he's lost 10 cents a share. So he's hoping for a pop.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, it won't be on my list, man. But who knows? Who knows? You never know what GameStop can go crazy out of nowhere.
Actually,
All right,
you know
friends,
what else is green, Carlos?
What is?
What? WTF? WTF, man.
Why wouldn't they be green, right? WTF.
It just
Green.
popped green. So.
By a couple of cents here. Man, what a ride. Look at this daily.
Yeah.
Just what a ride. And what's the other one? It's NMAX, right? NMAX is the other madness.
NMAX. Well, we've had three that have been interesting recently. WTF, NMAX. You're absolutely right. NMAX is the crazy one that went up to 280 almost, or whatever it was, 260. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then CRWV is the other one.
Oh, CoreWeave, CRWV, correct? Yes, CoreWeave here. Yeah.
So
madness.
I mean, hey, look, it's been a long time since we've been able to talk about interesting IPOs, so I'm all for it. I miss those days, but I don't think in the current climate, it doesn't feel like we're likely to get many more in the short term. But hey, maybe there's some that are planned that are going to happen anyways. We need something to look forward to.
Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. So on my list right now, Baba, Tesla, and Nvidia at the moment. Secondary list, JD and Intel. As you see here, again, just Nvidia keeps crushing the volume. You're getting a nice little bounce this morning. So from the pre-market low session here, 95.36 is the low. So getting a little bit of a bounce. So you pre-market traders are getting a lot of action here today. You can probably hopefully take advantage of. All right, let's start with our chat here. Let's take a look what you guys like this morning. Let's see here. Move over this to the side so I can see what you guys are sending. We'll start in our chat and then we'll head over to YouTube as well. Let's start with Miata. I'm thinking you mean Meta, but I'm gonna go with Meta. But let's start with
Meta.
Meta.
That's like Megan's arch nemesis. Meta.
Yes. This morning, again, down 3.8 likes as everything in the red. 1.5 million shares traded. And again, out of the Max 7s, my least favorites, there's three, and they go back and forth between these three only, right? Google, Meta, and Microsoft, right? These three are for me, are the most difficult to trade at times. Meta can trade very well. We've seen it do amazing things, so you can keep it here. But again, pick your favorite. I have Nvidia and Tesla so far on there. Is Tesla at Max 7? Have they fallen off the Max 7 list? Is there anything else that can kick them off, or are they still in charge there? I got to look at those numbers. But Nvidia is my favorite. Tesla, my favorite, of course, and Apple, right? These three. If I'm going to look at the Max 7, it's going to be those three there. Nvidia, Tesla, and Apple. So Pick your favorite.
Couple of people were mentioning Meta, and I'll stick to my statement. I don't see a lot differentiating it from its peers in the market. Yes, it's moving. Everything's moving. There's a couple of small news articles. They partnered with the
Hmm.
UFC for a multimedia experience. UFC fights. A Kenyan judge has ruled that Meta can be sued for helping incite violence in Ethiopia. When during the 2020 to 2022 civil war that they had. But I mean, look, unfortunately, this type of news and stuff happens all the time for Meta. So I'm not seeing anything, any big standout news articles that would cause it to move in a unique fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I saw something where TikTok, I think they did a settlement, right? And I forget the number. It was so low that I sometimes the people that do these fines, Peter, like they probably have no clue how much these companies make, right? Because they do these fines like, oh, TikTok is fined $10 million. Like, do you
Right.
$10 million is what one of their platform content creators making a year. Like, do you know how much these
Yeah.
guys make? Right? They have no clue. It's like pocket change, but again, it's just weird the way they put those prices. Like, that's not really going to hurt them for them leaking data to China from the EU or something like that. It was some weird situation. But yeah,
Yeah.
Meta guys, not gonna be on my list. If you like it, great. I am gonna put Apple though on my secondary. I'll look at that one because I do like those three from the Max Sevens. I think for me trade very very well. Michael says Meta's not gonna should not be affected by tariffs like others. Yeah, but this is more than tariff stuff now, right? This is overall market sentiment and economy. Remember, if people start getting scared and panic, it doesn't matter whether your company is involved with tariff or not, you are going to feel the pain, right? People
Right.
just stop spending, they stop buying, and that's the problem, right? So, and one of the first things, as we learn from COVID, and anytime we go into these type of recession type talk, the first thing that gets affected is ads, right?
Right.
Companies stop their ads, and
Right.
these companies, they all their money comes from ads, right? The Googles, the Metas, it's all ads, right? So if that gets affected, you're gonna see a drop on Facebook. Grandma's not gonna be going in there and buying, stuff from Temu. So that's the problem there. All right, let's. What else you guys like this morning? What else is on deck here? Amazon. Let's take a look at Amazon. Today, yeah, again, down right here, 5%, 4.4 million shares traded. Another one of the Max 7s. I'm just not going to watch it. I think it's moving similar to everything else this morning. All right, I think we'll stop
Yeah.
here,
What
Steve. Hmm.
what I find, Carlos, what I find interesting is there seems to be a little bit of an upsurgence already, and this typically happens, of the analysts or reporters writing articles saying, "Hey, look, the Magnificent Seven stocks are down between an average of 15 to 25%. You should buy the dip. You'll regret it if you don't buy the dip. Buy the dip." There's always that sentiment of buying the dip until it like keeps dipping, right? And then so it's one of these inverse signals that people have talked about a lot in the industry, and you can look it up, right? You've got the what do they call it? The magazine, the magazine cover indicator, or the news article indicator. It's usually like if they're saying buy the dip, right? It's probably time to sit back and wait because we're likely to drop further. When the magazine articles then start coming out and say there is no hope, right? All is lost. We're in a deep depression. That's when you should think about buying. Because usually by the time it makes it to the articles and they start to write it, that's usually when things start to turn. Like it's one of those you can go back and look at it, and they like to use like the Time magazine articles or the New Yorker or whatever, and then you can time them almost beautifully, right? It's like when they're saying buying, it's usually time to sell. When they say sell, it's usually time for you to buy. So anyways, just food for thought there. That I find it interesting that as I scan the news every morning, I'm getting all these articles that say enter now and accumulate. Right, things are dipping, they're down. It's time to add more to your portfolio. You're going to regret it if you don't. And it's just like that's interesting, but I think I'll stay my course.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Um, All right, friends. What else we got here? So right now, just for me, Baba, Nvidia, Tesla, and the rest of the Max Sevens, Apple, and Google, and something else there. But what else do you guys have? Anything else that maybe we haven't talked about? I saw Steve giving us Zim. Personally, I don't like to trade this one. It's a shipping company, I believe, and again, they don't trade very well, but this could affect things, right? Shipping and logistics do get affected when prices go up because they take a hit. UPS, we saw the sell-off yesterday. How did FedEx do? Let's take a look at FedEx. FDE, what is the ticker? FDX? Here we go. FDX also selling off yesterday, right? So these shipping companies, if they start, holding some of these ships, which again are the maintenance I can imagine is expensive plus insurance and all that good stuff. If they're not moving product, they're going to take a pretty nice hit here. So as you can see here, this one is down. But I think today I'll be looking at something else. But it looks good, Steve. If you like this type of sticker today, it does look very nice. You can see it here on the pre-market. It's got a little bit of volume. But again, just the way I trade, it doesn't fit my style here. All right, friends, 910. Let's stop here. Cause everything is trading the same, the SPY mentally. What's your mindset for your strategy? It's a good point. We could talk a little bit about that before the market open. We'll continue on YouTube, so we can talk about that. But the strategy is just play the price action. Play the price action. Yeah, actually, really quick, this is important. Yesterday, me and Peter saw this, right? Some tickers, like Nvidia was one of them, I believe Apple at a certain point, were not really following the SPY. Like they were doing their own thing. The SPY was dropping and Nvidia just was chopping around. Like it wasn't doing anything the SPY was doing at a certain point. There was several tickers like that. So you just got to play the price action. I like to go in the direction of the SPY when I'm taking a trade, but sometimes, I put very little weight on that. But that's one of my criteria. If it's going with the SPY, even better. And if I could match as much criteria as possible on my trade book, then I take the trade, right? But just play the price action is the best that you can do. All right, friends, with that, let's head over to our community events and announcements to see what's happening for this beautiful Friday. You can always check this over at bearwithtraders.com. Click on that webinars page, and you're going to see what's coming up for the next 2 weeks. But today we're focused on this beautiful... Oh, where's Friday? Oh, there's Friday. No. What happened to Fridays? Did we change something?
It looks like it.
Oh, did not know. Okay, Fridays has disappeared.
I don't know. Looks like it. It's Friday.
Okay.
It means I guess we're taking it easy this Friday. So nothing scheduled for today. We don't have any events, so you can focus on the markets and really sort of focus on your trading because frankly there is a lot of trading to be had. Now it is Friday, so typically what do we see on Fridays? Typically we see volumes drop off in the afternoon and things get quiet, right? Fairly quick. We get big movement in the morning. That's typical, right? The open is the open, but then things tend to sort of get a little boring in the afternoons. We've been seeing that sort of like summer volumes almost through this early spring, late winter, early spring. I think today's going to be an exception. I think we're going to get continued good volume all day. At least that's what I'm hoping. Just based on the pre-market volume. I'm looking at now that I get early, like pre-market RVol, like the market volume, they're 3,000% of average. Like you were talking about Nvidia. Nvidia's 1,700% of its average volume. Amazon 1,900%. Like everything's trading 10 times as much volume in the pre-market as normal. I'm thinking that's going to continue throughout the day, but I could be wrong. If you want to take advantage of that and have a conversation with other traders and be active all day, consider joining our chat room. It's a place where you can talk about this, throughout the market day. We'd love to have you. Really, it's a great community and great people, and it truly is the people like those who made the trek and we were able to meet with in Vancouver last week. I can't believe it's behind us already. I'm wearing the shirt because I'm sad that it's over, but it was such a fantastic event. Started on Saturday of last week, went through to Monday, and again, it was absolutely fantastic, exhausting. But fantastic. So, but if you want to join us in the chat room, we're still going every single day. The market's open. We trade live with you. You consider from the intro through to the Elite Annual. The Elite Annual still has a spring sale. You can take advantage of that for 50% off using the code SPRING50. So hopefully you will consider that. If you want tools to look at the market, then tradingterminal.com. You need to go no further than that. It's got everything you need. It's made by active traders, funded by Andrew. made for active traders, really with the intent of saying it's looking to be your one-stop shop. We get our scanners from it every morning. You can see up there, and it really gives us insight into the market and what's happening. So hopefully you will use that tool as well. All right, let's set some levels on things. I'll let you know. I'm looking for our moderators to get their lists in, and I see some already. Brian, obviously, he's feeling it. Look, he has gone a flaming garbage can as part of his watch list. So, yeah, we know how you feel, buddy. So, anyways, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, let's do some levels, and once Brian and Andrew join, we'll switch over to them here.
Oh, you hit mute, Carlos.
I did hit mute. I was trying to do something else. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and go to Baba. We'll start there. Just 3 for me on the main list this morning. Baba today, right now, low of the pre-market. We're sitting at a 116. So we're gonna mark that there, and I see Andrew's firing up. So. Good morning, Andrew. All right, friends, we're going to disconnect from the main chat room. So Andrew's going to be with you guys there. Brian should be coming up, and we're going to continue with our levels over on YouTube. All right.
Excellent. Trade smart, everybody.
All right, friends. So on YouTube, 116.17. Let me mute Andrew's on my ear. I'll mute that. 116.17 for Baba, and then towards the top, high of the pre-market, 127. 127.83. So 127.83 for the high of Baba. If you look at this daily here, again, nice drop this morning. So I'm really liking this here. Towards the top, you have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, so don't really have to do anything there. You're pretty much set. And then we do have a nice little gap here. There's no midpoint level. I would have loved to have something in this area, but the only thing you have is the bottom of this day here, 120.82. I don't know how strong that's going to be. We'll mark it. I don't know if that's going to have a lot of impact on the price action or the intraday action today. Then towards the bottom, the big level obviously is over here. You see it down at 103.24, and then right in here you have 111.18 as far as Baba goes. So plenty of levels this morning as we're getting again a very decent drop, 8% right now, with some really good volume, guys. 4.5 is decent volume for Baba today. Look at JD. It's another. We're not going to do levels for this one, but it's another Chinese tickers, and there's a bunch. Someone mentioned PDD in our YouTube chat as well. Keith, yes, that's also in play. Pick your favorite. Usually Baba for me is the one, but PDD also has great volume, so take a look at that one as well. And Nvidia, man, wow, under 100 here. So we are low of the pre-market, 95.36. So that looks great there. Even in the pre-market now, you see this line here, this red line where the price action is. Even that line is showing you some levels of support and resistance, right? So I want to mark that down because even in the pre-market, we're just getting a lot of action. 8 a.m. candle here as well, part of the top of that and the bottom of that. So I'm definitely want to mark this here, 98.54 is that level. We'll slam that there just to be ready. If we look at the intraday, the daily chart, towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, got tons of levels up here. You do have the previous day close as well. I'm going to move over to the left here and find some levels towards the bottom just in case we move lower. And look how clean these levels are, right? Like the levels we're marking. Look at the low. Look at the low of the pre-market, 95.33. See that there? Look at the resistance that was back in May. Right, so just very, very nice. So definitely want to have that there. And then towards the bottom of that, we have 92.75, and then right below that 90.67. Right now, getting a little bit of a bounce from the session lows, guys, from 95.33 to 98.51, and looking to go higher. So this is going to be heavily in play this morning. As I mentioned earlier, the volume is just outrageous. Again, as Peter mentioned, I'm sure we've been higher. But again, 25 million. We don't see that every day of shares traded so far in the pre-market. So definitely heavily in play. Last but not least, it's going to be Tesla on my list. If I look at Tesla here, and I just switch over here. Yeah, if I look at Tesla this morning, we have some levels towards the bottom. Low of the pre-market, 246.21. So we'll slam one there. And then below that, we do have 236.02. And we might have a minor 229.88 And then down here, of course, 222.45 towards the bottom. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last two trading days. And if you look at this daily, which is kind of been just kind of hanging out here, we have not sold off as many as the other tickers in the last 2 days. Peter was mentioning this earlier as well. We're just kind of hanging here, which again, very interesting. This could be just because they've been selling off for so long now that maybe we're getting to a point where buyers are saying, hey, this is a good deal. Maybe not for 2 weeks from now, but 2 years from now, this could be a good spot. So they start buying. Who knows? We never know exactly who's buying and selling, but there are some stocks that are going on sale, man. Like this Nvidia, 98 seems right. 98 seems like a number. 140, 150 was pretty high. A lot of people say, oh, it's overvalued. But I'm sure if you run some numbers, 98 looks very attractive for a lot of long-term portfolio. And what I like to do is when I join a swing trade is, Peter, I buy some, keeps dropping and buy some more, right? Like I partial in basically, so I partial into the position because I know there could still be a lot of downturn, and I'm sure many people do that. So we'll see how Nvidia does here. But yeah, that's our list, friends. We are all set this morning. Just three right now: Nvidia, Baba, Nvidia, and Tesla. And if I see something else that I like, I will add it on there. I also got my secondary JD, Intel, and Apple. All right, let's take a look, Peter, on what the team is watching. Here's Brian's list. Big old waste management truck that he put on his list.
You know what amazes me when in the chat room people were posting a whole bunch of images, and there's a lot of images of garbage truck cans or garbage trucks on fire. How often does this happen? Why are there so many pictures? Do garbage bins catch on fire regularly?
Yeah, I don't know how. It is a thing, man, because where my parents live, it's a condominium, and they do these things. And one time I was actually there with them where one of them caught on fire. Why? I'm not sure. I personally seen a truck. The ones that catch on fire on the highway 95 by the exit there by my house, actually catch on fire. Had to pull over, and I'm like, there's just smoke coming out, but I figured it was fire. And the guy started opening the trunk, and you can see the flames come out. So people just throw stuff in there that create problems, But yeah, it's crazy, man.
Anyways, all right. Well, we do have a flaming garbage truck of a market today, but it doesn't mean there's not things to trade. Mike is going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, and of course the scanners, which he always keeps an eye on. Thor is going to be watching Tesla and MSTR. Jared's going to be watching AMD and the markets overall. He says secondary, his edible arrangement may require his full attention. So just so you know, Jared was, if you're in our chat room, he sort of held the fort down as we were all in Vancouver. So the group of moderators that he was subbing in for, we all sent him an edible arrangement to thank him for that work. So enjoy it, Jared. Megan is going to be trading Nvidia. Andrew is going to be trading Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple. Brian is going to be looking at Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR, and trying not to get burned on the flaming garbage. And Eamon's going to be potentially watching Apple and FSLR for longs. First Solar, not one that we've talked about in a while, but I'm not sure why he feels that's a long today, but he's got his own methodology, and if it is, then I wish him luck. But as I said, Apple often bucking the trend here, so Eamon will be taking a look at it. For me, I'm going to be watching Nvidia, Apple, and Tesla for sure. I think I'm also going to keep an eye on PLTR. I want to watch Baba today just to see what it's doing. And, we'll see. I don't have anything sort of that's moving independently at me. It's all market movement. And I'm absolutely going to be watching this 11:25 time frame, right? Remember, that's when Powell's looking to speak. So I expect some market movement in reaction to that. I'm going to try and find a live feed. I want to know what he's saying because we'll see how the market reacts. So keep that time in mind if you're trading later this morning.
Yep, absolutely, guys. We'll be live with Paris at that time here on YouTube, so stick around. Guys, just let you know, you guys have options. Here's a look at of Andrew and Brian trading. If you want to join them, check out the membership over on our websites. They're going to be trading live here for the community. And here's a look at our chat room and how you can move things around and just see what's going on. Chat with the members. Again, you can see everything live, and there's no delay here on our chat room for those trades. And then you also have Avi, also on Academy, Trading Terminal Academy. You can go there and see him trade live if you like his style. So plenty of options depending on what style do you like. All right, friends, let's get ready for the market open. We got just a little bit under 6 minutes to go here. Quick look at the SPY, and we are again just bouncing from the lows a little bit, and we'll see how this goes, man. This should be an exciting open. Everything on my screen is red, but this should be definitely something good here, as far as trading. So volatility wise, at least.
Can I just say
So
I've been
yeah,
checking out my times here. I had a good run this morning, Carlos. I'm feeling
nice.
awesome.
Good, man. I'm feeling tired today, man. And
Oh
I
yeah.
could tell. I could tell when I'm tired because the words, we're talking all morning, whatever. The words don't come out as smoothly. It takes me a little bit longer to kind of, get everything together as we're just putting all our thoughts. And I could tell, like, yeah, I'm not performing on my best as I'm doing the show, and you feel it. And part of it is because I'm tired, man. I feel the tiredness coming over a little bit. So,
Uh,
um,
I
yeah,
I understand that. I felt that yesterday, but I decided I had to break through that today. I got up and went out for a good run, and I had such a good pace, man. If I could keep up that pace for a whole marathon, that's a 4 hour and 3 minute marathon. If I can do that, I'm pretty excited. So, I don't know that I could do that for a full marathon, but felt
yeah,
good today.
good,
Felt
man.
good.
That glad to hear
Anyway.
that.
All right,
Yeah,
let's see what we're gonna get here. I'm getting ready here for the open. Let me just gonna reset all my screens now
yeah,
from
exactly
what
what
I
I'm
do
doing.
too. Yeah,
Changing things up for actual
that
trading.
we gotta get rid of that garbage can. It's still on our screen. Is it? Oh no.
It's
Okay, sorry. My screen was frozen. That's my bad.
on YouTube. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
all good.
gotcha,
It's all good. It was me. It's not you. It's me.
gotcha.
All right.
All right, let's see.
What am I watching here? Baba PLTR. Maybe I should put a firm up here. I'm gonna put I've got extra screens. Why not?
Yeah, I got some space too, man. I only have three right now, um, because it's just I got some space here. So let me see what else we can add before the market opens. So I got Baba on here.
How?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yesterday, I had a setup that I was looking at for a lot of stocks. I have to admit, today I don't really have the setup. Everything's gapping down, but
Mm-hmm.
generally it's up above the VWAP or right at the VWAP. Apple's right at the VWAP. Tesla's just slightly above. Nvidia's just slightly above. That throws me off, right? Because
Yeah.
it means that while we're down from yesterday's close, we're actually gapping up in the last hour or two to put us above VWAP, and it throws me off. So, I yeah, I'm guys. Just so you know, I'm likely to be very boring at the open. I don't have any targeted trades, which means it may be yeah, I don't know what to expect this morning. And usually that means it's about an hour before I get into a trade. The problem is an hour after the open puts us into the time frame when we're getting closer to Powell speaking. Although, come to think of it, we still have almost an hour. We have 2 hours, right, till Powell speaks. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what we get. But I'm not really. I don't have nothing that I'm super eager to jump into.
Yeah. So a question here from about DAS. So you could change the quote server, right? If you feel like your dash is a little laggy or acting a little strange, there's a way to change the quote server. I'm looking for it now, actually. Where is this? Under file, right? Is it under file? Somewhere under here. I can't find it, but there's a way to do that, and it fixes it. Like it happens to all of us sometimes. Now, don't get me wrong. When you get a lot of volume, you might still see some of that anyway.
So Hassan Mujtaba, I don't know if I said that right, but is asking Peter, you still run at this age? First off, how old do you think I am? Like I'm not dead yet. So,
Facts.
and I'm not a
Yes.
runner. I'm just getting started in running. So, yes, and thank you. By the way, Gurinder, I am not 33. I am 54. But yes, and I'm just we're going to run my first marathon in 1 month. Actually, 1 month exactly from today. May the 4th is when I'm running that marathon. So it's exactly a month from today. So wow, I
Mm.
just realized that. After Mike and I um, Mike and I are running that thing, and yeah, it's wow, a month from today. That's scary. That terrifies me. A month.
Just
Oh my god.
just became real. It just became real. All right, guys, here we
Yeah.
go. Less than a minute to the market open. And yeah, let's rock and roll here. Quick look at the SPY. What do we got going on? And again, for me, guys, as usual, the first 3 minutes, I'm not taking any trades, just watching. And then I'll be looking for a 5-minute RB or any type of breakout that might have a good setup on the 1 minute chart. And I got the 5-minute chart as well at the bottom here. So let's see. Very good. Good.
10 seconds till the market open. I'm seeing Nvidia pop up a little bit. Tesla also popping up. Apple is not. So again, once again, Apple. Here we go.
Yeah.
There's the bell. FOMO. You're getting ready for a Netflix documentary marathon. So yeah, pretty much identical training, I'm sure. All right, guys. Seeing a little bit of choppy action. Interesting. Nvidia's moving up, but I'm seeing orders on the downside. So a little confusing here. Oh, here we go. Now we got some orders up at 100. Oh, I just realized Nvidia's under 100. Wow.
Yeah, man. Down to 95. That's an attractive price. You know.
Somebody just hopefully was taking a drink. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, Tesla popping up. Nvidia doesn't quite know what it wants to do. It is all over the place. The spread here going between 2 cents and 40 cents. So that's scary. Yeah, I'm not trading that right now. Apple popping up. I mean, this is really going to be fascinating over the next couple of weeks, I think, to see how the market really reacts.
Look at Apple.
You know, with just the level of uncertainty that the Trump administration is throwing into the markets is really quite unprecedented. So, but you know, it's we'll see what happens. You know, is it going to be short-lived or not? Nvidia just poked its head over 100. I mean, I saw the ask over 100. I saw a couple of orders obviously hit there, but it could not hold that number. So I don't know what that means. Again, Nvidia's fascinating to watch here, but terrifying to consider trading it. I am not. If anything, I would go short, but even that feels very scary.
Yeah, this is looking crazy on Nvidia. Like my charts, that does not look normal. You guys see the way that's moving? That is not normal. I got to change quote service probably. I'm sure you guys are all having the same thing. It's just an immense amount of volume. I mean, this first 5 minutes has already 12.7 million shares traded. So the volume is just ridiculous. I do see Andrew trading PLTR, and I'm getting the same thing, Peter. I'm gonna
all the Magnificent Seven, as well as the market indices, all trading at around 300 to 500% their normal volume. So yeah, we got a ton of volume here in the market as people are repositioning themselves. So interesting how yesterday was sort of a little bit of a letdown, wasn't it? Like we sort of didn't see a lot of movement pre-market. Not a lot happened when the market opened. Now, you know, today we're seeing the opposite. Well, there's a ton of action here pre-market. Maybe I should have gone short Nvidia. Even just a few shares here, I could have taken advantage of this now that we're $2 off of that failed $100 break. I'm not chasing this thing. Absolutely not. I do see a lot of orders on the downside at 98. We'll see if we can hit those. We're only 20 cents away, 25 cents away from that. Yeah, see.
Yeah. This could be a good entry short on Nvidia if you could stay below the VWAP. That's the move I look for all the time. So this VWAP break after it pops up, breaks down below the VWAP, we get the pullback to the VWAP. Yeah, this is our entry. Let's go short here. Let's see if we can get a drop below. It is scary because it's moving all over the place right now. But that's the signal, man. We'll see. We'll see if it pays out here. As Apple goes the other way. Tesla, what's Tesla up to? Tesla doing the same thing, coming back down a little bit here as well. Nvidia struggling to get below the VWAP there. And the overall SPY selling down, so it should help. At least it's not going against us, so that's good. Oh, did I not? I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. I'll put it up. Yeah, we go.
I've gone
Sorry about
short
that.
here, Nvidia with you.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
going to aggressively move my stop to break even because I'm really nervous about this. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting a little move down. We're getting to that 90. I want to see that 98 break. That 98 break is important.
Yep. All right, we are short Nvidia. Andrew's
I
long
got
Apple.
stopped at break even. I'm maybe a little overly conservative here, but let's see if I can get maybe a better entry, a little higher.
Okay, okay.
Come on, don't leave without me.
Nice.
I don't know. It should have
It's
broken down
struggling.
by
Should have
now.
broke. Yeah, it should have broke down by now. So it's really
Yeah,
struggling to
yeah.
actually get the
I
breakdown.
don't, I don't love it.
And the volume is just the way these candles are moving on
Oh,
Nvidia
it's
right now. They're
through the
not
roof.
great. They're not great.
Mm. I didn't. I didn't
No,
take that entry when we hit
that was Peter. That was a
98.60.
hard entry.
Yeah.
That was a hard entry, man.
This 98
Yeah,
there. Oh, there we go. I just saw 97 on the bid.
yep,
Come on, it's really holding this 98 very strong here, which is
yeah.
very concerning. So there's a lot of buying going on, a lot of support. If we can break that support, we're going to see a big 40, 50 cent pop down would be my guess.
That's what I'm hoping for,
But
man. That's why I'm here
yeah, it's
hoping for
got
the
to break
flush,
that 98 support.
and it's having a hard time doing that. So let's see. We're in, and again, this is the move we look at all the time. I was hesitant, but the breakdown below the VWAP is the blue line, the pullback, and then on the way down is where I usually jump in, and we do this every time, same thing over and over again. So we got our
Come on.
signal. We're in
Yeah,
it. Let's see if we
there we
can
go.
actually
There we
get the
go.
payout.
Okay,
All
so it's
right, here
got the
we go.
break. Let's
Get the
see.
flush.
Oh, Jesus, it still didn't.
Yeah, it's not
I was
doing it,
expecting
man.
much more of a drop. We really only got about 10 cents. So come on, 20. No, see, it's somebody's still fighting.
Somebody's fighting the heck out of
Yeah,
this, man.
that's nerve wracking.
Yeah, this.
If I could have got a re-entry at about 98.60 when it just popped there for a moment, then I would have. But it moved too fast on me. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely not chasing this.
Here we go. Okay. We got our. Come on. We got our red cup here. We got our red cup water today, Peter. We have our red cup coffee. I mean, we're ready to go, man. Let's go.
The giant
Let's,
mug. All right, here we
let's
go.
do this.
Come on, you need that move.
Yeah, I took a partial.
This looks better.
So we'd love to see this drop a little more here. Will be nice.
Oh, you took
That's
a
a
part.
lot
Yeah,
of
good,
yeah.
smart.
It's a lot
Well,
of
that's where I would have taken a partial too, Carlos. So.
yeah. Good, man. It's a lot of bids down here too. I just saw them. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. Okay, very nice. All right, so we're just gonna hang tight. My stop now, guys. Break even. Like we won't give any of this back because although it's selling down, you could see the buyers are fighting the crap out of this, man. They're not letting this go easy. Andrew, my friends, quick look at what Andrew's doing here. This is, for those that have not seen our chat room before, this is what our chat room looks like. Andrew is long on Apple, has added, and man, it's about to pay off really nice over here. So good for him. It's a great entry there if he can hold. So good stuff. All right, so Nvidia making a new low. I might take another partial here if we don't start to drop faster and further quickly. Just because I don't just again. This trade is very tense. I feel tense in this trade. I don't know why, but some trades are smooth. This one is. I feel tense. I'm trying to stay calm in the uncomfortableness, but
I got I got back just before the open from my run, and my all the salt is like dried on my forehead now, so it's getting all crusty.
yeah.
You know what's so funny? Yeah, we have had the craziest weather here. So yesterday afternoon we had this windstorm that brought in this crazy weather. So In the morning when I woke up yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
let me talk. Well, I'll talk Celsius first because that's what I know. But it was -7 yesterday morning, -7. So that is what, about 20 degrees maybe Fahrenheit.
Okay,
And
that's cold.
okay, but by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, this wind had come in and it went up. It hit a high of 20 degrees, which is 20 degrees is like 70.
70. Yeah, we had the same thing up
Yeah.
here. We had like 70
Like
up here.
yeah, it was just nuts. And then this morning I woke up and it was -1, which is like 30 degrees. So I went running and it was -1, so I had to dress up a little bit. But it's just like it's impossible to figure out what's going on. Like it's all over the place.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, here you go, Carlos. You're 97 now.
yeah.
I really wish I'd re-entered or even held my trade, but I got out of break even. I didn't have the guts
No,
that you
that
did.
was
So good for you.
where you were looking to enter, man. That was a tough trade. I was actually looking to almost stop
Well,
out at that point because it was a tough pullback,
yeah.
man. Yeah,
And I got in a minute after you, and it looks like I actually got a slightly better price because my entry was 98.25. Yeah,
yeah,
98.25.
yeah. That's much better than
But
I
but
did.
yeah, like you said, really tough hold. Like it was bouncing all over the place. So,
Yeah,
anyways, I'd put a big stop or wide range on it because of how it was moving. But
yeah,
anyways, all
yeah.
right. Well, I'm still honing, frankly, my opening trading chops because that's not typically what I do. So good for you. You traded
No,
smart.
man. You had a great trade yesterday, right at the
Yeah.
open. So it's like and this is not your zone. So man, good for you.
You know, and it's funny, guys. I only had two trades yesterday, and both of them while we were live here. Right, one was the Apple, I think. Oh, I did trade Apple yesterday. Yeah, it was Apple at the
Yeah,
open, and
yep,
then I got that Tesla trade at around 10, where I got it off of the little Mountain Pass at the
yep.
uh, at 10 o'clock. So yeah, it was an interesting day.
Sweet. Ion says, have a great weekend, guys. See you Monday. Made my money for the day.
Oh man,
Smart man.
there you
Make your
go.
money.
That's the way to do it, Ian.
Make your money run.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep. Good stuff, man.
I did a whole presentation at our seminar about that. So smart move, absolutely right. If this is when you make your money, don't give it back. Take it,
Mm-hmm.
pocket it, take the good feeling into the weekend, go do something else. Go for a run.
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
Whatever you want to do.
All right, here we go. Nvidia is setting up nicely for another drop here. So we're going to take another partial if we make a new low here. Hell, if we get to the low of the day, that would be insane. But let's see if it can hold here. See if we could get the drop. But yeah, man, great job. First partial here, awesome. What are you guys are trading today? American Airlines at $9. Yeah, I'm gonna add more on American as far as my swing trade. I call it swing trade, but it's not a swing trade. It's a long term adding to a position, and I don't mind like if this thing goes to next year, right? It's not day trading money, so it's very different account. I don't mind. It's done pretty good for me on that. Uh, okay, Nvidia is doing what we wanted to do here. So let's see if we can get the flush. Here it is. I want to take what I call a defensive partial, but I'm trying to be patient. But I just feel like the longer we stay here, the higher likelihood we have of it just shooting back up pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm gonna take a partial here. And I'm pretty much, I still got decent sized shares left, but I got shares for like two more partials, and then it's not worth holding it after that. But we'll love to see how this goes from here. How much did I make on that trade? Enough to cover yesterday's loss and then some. So that's all that matters, man. Enough to cover yesterday's loss. If you guys remember, I lost twice yesterday. I lost on Apple, just wasn't reading it right, and I lost on Nvidia. So today we got payback on Nvidia. And I say that payback, I'm only kidding. There's no payback in trading. You can't think like that, but yeah, this is a good trade. This is definitely one and done for me today. but that's how it is. You got good days, bad days. It's all part of the game. Done for the day on Avi's measure move strategy. Very nice. Good for you. Powell speaking at 11:30 or 11:45. We had it here actually. Let's take a look. Peter had it up in his charts. Powell talks 11:25 actually.
11:25, yeah.
Yeah, 11:25. All right, a couple of partials in here. I might just, again, I'm just watching candle by candle, just seeing where it is. If you look at the 5-minute too, we're clearly on a downtrend, but the 1 minute is kind of slowing down a little bit, right? So might be reversing back to VWAP. Could still be a short. Like this might not be over, but with the number of shares I have, it's not worth coming back up to like above 97.25. It's just not worth it, right? So I want to stay in the trend. I want to, hopefully we can hold on to the 9 and keep going towards the low of the day. Tesla is, wow, I'm watching Tesla here. They are just getting destroyed, man. And they had a really nice engulfing pattern on the 5-minute. Let me show you this. This right here, we talk about this a lot. This is a very strong signal for a short, right? And you get in here just as it's cracking the 5-minute range. That's typically a really nice short opportunity there. So good stuff. All right, yeah. So here it is. I am going to stop out on Baba. I don't think it's, again, it's just not worth holding through this pullback here. So we will take
Nvidia
everything
or
off.
Baba?
I'm sorry, Nvidia. I have Baba on my mind
Okay.
here. Yeah, sure. Nvidia. No, Nvidia.
Don't get out of the wrong thing.
Right. Don't hit cover and then go long on something else, right? Because if you don't have
Yeah.
shit, I think it goes long or something. Done that before.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so there is our Nvidia trade. Again, just to kind of show you this, because I know you're gonna see this a lot from me here. Is at the market open, we get the pop up, we get the breakthrough candle, is what I call it, right? This is a breakthrough candle here on the 1 minute. The pullback, and the breakthrough meaning breaking through the VWAP, right? It's VWAP here. You get the pullback to the VWAP. Once you get the confirmation that we're going to sell off, is usually where I go long, stop loss above the VWAP, right? You got to give this enough room. And with Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, and these very high volatile stocks, you even give it a little bit more room. But more than room, what I like to see is, this, I'm not concerned with this going up. I'm concerned if the candle closes above the VWAP. I'm more concerned that, okay, this might be, setting a new trend above the VWAP. But if you look at it here, both times I was looking at this closely, it did not close above the VWAP. So I do look at that, and I put a lot of weight onto that, because if it does, usually higher highs, higher lows, you can get into some problems here. So, all right, as we're talking, Andrew's going long, TQQQ here. So just got a couple of, got in a couple of minutes ago or so. So we'll see how that plays out. The entry was a little early on which one? Where did you get into? Amazon green today. Let's take a look at Amazon. I don't have Amazon on my list. Oh, Amazon.
What's Amazon doing? Oh, good move up
Very
on
nice.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Apple turned out to be a tough trade for Andrew.
Yeah, he shaked them out, right?
Very aggressive pullback there. I didn't actually see him get out of it, but I assume that he must have.
Yeah.
I see he's long TQQQ now, looking for a pull. It's working off for him. Let's see if he can hold here.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, go into
Looks
some
like,
comments as well. Kevin, thanks, man. Thanks, PLTR. He traded PLTR too. How did that? I think he traded PLTR, I believe. Or maybe he got stopped out on that.
Yeah, PLTR looked a lot like Nvidia, sort of the way it.
Yeah. Oh, might be. I think I understand your comment. You're saying a little bit early though. Okay, let me be clear. So this is not a 5-minute ORB, right? Remember, guys, we do the 5-minute RB and also the breakouts out down from a VWAP. So 5-minute RB, you have to wait for the 5-minute range to be created, which is here. So I always look for possible breakouts from the VWAP, right? And that's why I say I wait up to 3 minutes, because usually these happen between that 3 to 5 minute mark. Okay, they don't happen after. I don't trust them, but between that 3 to 5 minute mark, which is this period here, you tend to get this move where it pushes up below the VWAP, as I explained earlier. So yeah, this is not a 5-minute ORB. 5-minute ORB entry would have been here, the one that Peter wanted to get in. But I gotta tell you, the price action looked pretty scary to go short the way it was moving here above the VWAP. So I was looking to stop out. Peter didn't pull the trigger, but he was right on it. But it was a tough entry. It was a tough entry. So that would have been a 5-minute ORB there. So all right, Tesla coming back, Baba coming back. Do we have a long in play here? Is market gonna come pushing higher? Do you think Tesla's gonna reverse right now? Let's take a look. Tesla, yeah, it's in a tough spot. I'm not great at reversal, so again, take my information not a whole lot of weight right now. But here's the low of the day, right? And then here's the V up, which would be my first target if I was taking a reversal. In this area here is tough. You don't have a great entry. You just don't have a good risk to reward, right? So what I would do is, again, just me, listen to me, I'm correct or nothing like that. I usually like to wait for the VWAP breakout, the confirmation, right, like we saw earlier, and then the push higher will be a better entry for me because it gives me a better risk to reward. But reversal here, it's, I don't know what the play is. For me, I don't have a strategy on it. But things are looking like they want to go long. And here's the reason why, right? Let's say Tesla comes back up to the VWAP and then starts using that as resistance. It can head back to the low of the day. So that's my reasoning on it. Apple's going to get the move. Apple's going to break here. At least it's trying to get going. All right. Let's see the overall market. What is the SPY up to today? Let's check. Hanging out below the VWAP, so not doing a whole lot. The Qs are above the VWAP. Again, not really doing anything. IWM. So we're getting less chop than yesterday because tickers are actually moving. But let's see what they do now. They just seem to be coming back to the VWAP and not giving you the actual breakout. Calls your partials 10%. Yes, sir. So I have two partials. I have 10% and I have 50%. If I get a really good move or I feel like, okay, this might be turning around, I'll take 50% off, right? If I feel like, okay, this is not a good situation, we'll take 50% off if we're in the profit, obviously. And then the rest is 10%. It's good and bad. 10%, because if you get that first partial, that's decent, and then the price comes back up to your break even because it moves fast, then you make a very small amount. But when it's running and you're only taking 10%, then you take a 50 at your target, that works out pretty good. So, like I said, trade management, and I think you have one of these courses, Peter, that's really good. Oh no, that's on position sizing. You have a great course on sizing. Yeah. Which is really nice. And again, in that sizing structure, you just got to pick what you're comfortable with. And trade management is one of those things too. You just got to pick what you're comfortable with. And you can, like I mentioned earlier, yesterday, you can have a setup for every scenario, right? It's impossible when it comes to trade management because you just don't know what's going to happen. Price action is random. As Tesla moves higher above the VWAP, trying to get going here.
Yeah.
Only DAS is being... Yeah, if your DAS is being messy, change code servers. I did that because if you guys look at Apple when that market opened, it was just all over the place. Like it was like showing the charts, like the price action. So change the code server to something else and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, Nvidia pulled back to VWAP again.
Yeah.
Although VWAP's at a lower level than it was, of course, as the price action has pushed it lower. Notice volumes dropping off here, so not a surprise. Again, as we get into the day, I would expect to see the volume start to taper a little bit, especially as we get closer to this important 11:25 time frame.
Yep. All right, so I'm being asked, how do we change code server? So here's how you do it. I'm going to bring this up. Can you guys see this? This is the screen you guys are in. Okay, so all you have to do is you're going to click on File, and then you're going to click Quote Mode. And then you switch Quote Server. Click on this. It's going to bring up what's available. Click on anyone that's available. I'm going to connect to this one right now. Hit Connect. I'm not going to do it now. And it's going to just kind of refresh everything and give you a new quote server. Sorry, data stream. Yes, data stream.
Data stream mode is what the actual.
Yeah.
But yes, it's one of those idiosyncrasies in DOS where it's the data stream item out of the menu, but then it says quote mode on the window. So sometimes they don't match.
I'm telling you. Where's our programmer? Is this a developer or the programmer? Who's this one now? Huh? What do we blame?
Exactly. Yeah,
we got to check with
that's the programming thing.
Yeah.
But in fairness, this is a program that's been written and modified over the course of decades, and I keep providing excuses for it, but it's I still love it. I think it's a great program. But it is funny when you can call up some menus where you literally get back-to-back menu items where it says click this to turn the function on, or uncheck this to turn the function on. Like, why can't you? Some consistency, please.
In our case, when we implemented SAP, and again, SAP is a great system, but it was done by Chinese developers and programmers. Just the language barrier alone, when you translate stuff to English, was a mess, right? So we had things just like this. We're like, what? Yeah. What does this mean, right? So, but In our chat on YouTube, guys, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. But it looks like all you guys are programmers, because every time I try to blame the programmer, you guys are blaming somebody else. Sebastian's blaming the product team. Lorinda's bad requirements. Everybody here must be a programmer in our chat. But thank you guys for joining on this beautiful Friday. Really appreciate you guys. Smack that thumbs up as we go into the weekend for all our programmers in the chat. All right. Nvidia doing some stuff.
Do you keep your badges from events, Carlos?
Oh, of course. I have them all.
I used to keep them. Yeah, I don't know. I used to keep them, and then
I keep them. I usually just hang them up on the, on the stand I used to have. I haven't still finished the office furniture, Peter. So remember when I had the flood? I took all the stuff I had in my stand and everything, and I just put it in the basement in bags, and all my passes like that are all in bags. But I got the recent one is somewhere here. I was just looking at it too. I wish the date was bigger. We need to put the date bigger because it's so small. I'm like, what day was this? And it's like very small on there. But
it is small.
It's tiny. I found one. I'm like, what year was this? And it was last year. It was 2024, but it took me a bit to find the day.
I mean, you can always write on it with a Sharpie if you wanted. I guess.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, very true. Man, what an event! What an event! I mean, it was just awesome. Awesome.
It was phenomenal. It really was. All right. Let's see what else we can get. Again, I have like one, break-even trade. Carlos has got his good trade on, the same trade basically. He just held it better.
Apple's looking to. Yeah, we are. You're right. You are getting some kind of choppiness, but you're seeing some trending. And Apple, Apple. Like an hour later, we'll look at Apple. It's just kind of grinding higher and higher and higher, right? It's hard to look at it right now because you're not getting the volume really at the moment. But it's such a steady ticker. And you can see right now it's just kind of holding on to the 9 and the 20. Every time it comes to the 20, finds support,
And look at the volume, right? Look how flat that volume is,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Ever since the open, big open candle, dead flat. Even Nvidia, Nvidia's got a very similar volume profile. If you look
Yeah.
at it, it's just big open candle, sort of dead flat volume afterwards. So
Yeah. Now, this candle was so massive, right? That it makes these things look little. But if you take it out of the way, you're still doing 1.4
oh
million
yeah,
on Nvidia. Like,
oh
but you're right that the first initial candle, and that's why all that madness with the cold servers happens because it's just so much volume being transacted and has to be reported. It's just insane. Now, if I look at Apple, Apple's doing a little bit less. They're doing 333,000 roughly every 1 minute now. So a lot less volume than Nvidia, and this is why you should have a steadier,
yeah. Apple,
movement, less chop. You know.
Apple's at an average volume of 223,000 shares a minute, whereas Nvidia's at 1.2 million shares a minute. So
Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah. So tends to be a little more steady when you
Have you got
have.
that? Oh,
Hmm?
oh no, you have is that the current volume or is that the average volume, or do you put both? I have the
Uh,
average on my.
you could put the average. Oh, I should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you do that? You do go to price. You click on
It's
the
just
bottom.
under your volume study. So if you right click in the volume section, go to
Yeah.
study volume, and
Study.
then you've got the display, the average line settings. Do you see those? There you. Oh, yeah. So config.
Mm-hmm. I'll configure it here. Volume bar.
You get yeah. You got like the old menus here, but anyways, yeah. Hit config for volume
Yeah.
bar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got average line settings.
I
Oh,
don't see that.
you got no. You moved ahead a menu there.
Oh.
Wait, there we go. It was right there. Oh, you're moving too fast for me.
I think. Are you
Volume.
looking through YouTube? If you're looking through YouTube, you're behind.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'm going to vMix here. All right, hit
Yeah.
config
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
All right.
This one or this one?
I don't. This is like an old menu, so I don't know.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
There you
I
go.
gotta get the
Anyways,
new
it's there right on the screen now. You've got the average line settings. See?
average line settings. Here, this one. Display average line. It's checked off. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
show
you don't have
label.
you're not showing, you just have the lines. If you show the label, then now you're doing it over 3 periods. I do it over the last 10 periods because then it just gives me a better average. But anyways, so it's still there. So you can see, yeah.
Okay.
So your average is showing 160, 170,000 shares a minute on average, but that's over the
Yeah.
last 3 minutes. So your number is going to be lower than mine because you're going to weight
The
heavily
period.
the 1 minute, right? Which is never complete. So that's why I like to go to just 10 periods or something like that.
Yeah, 10 period sounds good actually. We'll do that.
So, anyways, it just gives you a good idea of
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's good. Knowing to clone
you
your
get
own
used to
setup will
those
take you to the
numbers,
next
by the way.
level.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, you get used to that number, by the way, once you have it on your screen for a while, right? So what's a good number? Well, every stock's got a different one. Like I know Nvidia,
Yeah.
Nvidia, as long as there's like 2 to 300,000 shares, that's sort of a good day in terms of movement. Apple typically trades lower volume, so as long as we're over 100, 120,000 shares a minute, it's good. I mean, we
Yeah.
have to keep in mind, like, Apple overall, its relative volume, 260% of average. Nvidia is currently at 210% of normal. So, we're obviously trading a lot more volume, but
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Andrew in chat. Hello, Andrew. Yes, am I sure on Amazon? I mean on Nvidia. Nvidia was my short. Nvidia, Amazon. Amazon, man, was going insane here. Swing trade list. What? I don't swing trade list. I don't have a swing trade list right now. I do not have a swing trade list. A question here. Will onboarding help me set up the studies on my charts? I guess sort of. I get it, sort of, but mine never holds the same levels as you guys. No, the morning class is a little more general, but we have tons of videos in our education center, man. If you go in there, we have 20 like DAS videos, and I know it sounds intimidating, but they're like 20 hours long. Some of them are like literally like 5 minutes, because it'll be just explaining like what Peter showed me how to do here, right? Explaining how to do a cold server. So we get to the point, this video is about this, and that's what you get, right? So amazing training stuff for you guys. So that will be on our education center. And again, I'll show you guys as we wait for setup here, but things seem to be getting a little choppy, guys, so just be careful. We saw this yesterday too, a little chop in the middle, and then we started seeing the actual breakouts, right? So just be mindful of that. GameStop, yeah, GameStop doing some stuff. Who had this on their list? Was it Jared was mentioning in our chat?
I don't know, was he? What's GME doing? Oh yeah, it's popping
doing
up
some
here.
stuff. That's awesome.
Well, looks like the CEO's making money on those extra shares that he bought right now.
Yeah. So here it is. When you get,
I never got. Anyways, I was part of the executive compensation team, and I wasn't an idiot. I'll take it. But it doesn't make sense. Like, if you consider the CEO's got 31.5 million shares, 31.5 million shares, right? Like that's what is that? 31.5 at $20. That's like $600 million worth of shares that he's sitting on. Like,
and how much he bought
doesn't really matter at that point. Like, is anybody worth that much? Come on.
Yeah. It's madness. So yeah, guys, I was going to show you, here is our education center, right? So here are all the things we have available to you. And for DAS, if you click on this, you're going to get about 20 videos for training on DAS and how to use it. There's Megan give you an introduction, but if you go through this, we have how to set up everything, advanced hotkeys, everything you name it is on here. So again, pretty detailed stuff, right? And some of these videos, like I said, they're short, right? They're short, straight to the point, nice and sweet. But yeah, definitely take advantage of them. And if you want to learn any of the strategies we're trading here, these are quick, easy, short videos going over the mountain pass repeater. I got my 5-minute RB stuff here, R3 to S3. I mean, you name it. We have a total of 29 strategies that you can take advantage of. So get access to that. There's a link that we'll put on here. It's $19. $19 gets you access to all of that for a whole week. So take advantage. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Apple gave up on the actual move, lost to 20, lost to 9, down to the VWAP. Yeah, Google, okay, looks like everything did. Google, same thing. Meta, Microsoft actually went green for a little bit, and it's now turning down here. No, we don't help with taxes. We do tax webinars from tax experts, right? We taxes are a thing that is very tricky, and you can get in a lot of trouble giving somebody the wrong information, or what you think is the right information, but their state is different. Their situation is different. They're in a different tax bracket. Now the information you gave them actually made it even worse. So everybody's got to go to a professional and to look at your specific situation, and then they'll advise you. A lot of our traders are using what's the online guys, Peter? Green Trader Tax. They're really good. We had them on before, do a couple of webinars, and they know their stuff, right? They specialize in this thing. So if we recommend someone, that we recommend you go to them.
Microsoft went green a second ago. It's red again, but at least it popped up. Google also had popped green a few minutes ago. Yeah. Interesting. So maybe all is not lost.
Yeah. Oh, it's not lost. See how my American Airlines is doing here. $8.95. Oh, this is a deal here, guys. I am definitely going to be adding more to this. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're big on this one. All right. Well, hopefully it all works out.
Yeah, and the thing is long term, right? Like, and I also one of my big rules is I don't buy on a margin, right? This is all cash, so this is what it is. So if we're not gonna be in a situation where it drops below a certain amount and now I got to be called on margin or whatever. No, no,
Right.
no, no. We're gonna. This is long term, so it's not even. I can't even consider a swing trade. Swing trade is more like what Brian does. He'll hold for a couple of days. This is like a
Right.
long term investment because I know because you don't know nothing, right? What is it? You know
Right.
nothing. Snow. What's that? What's that thing? That's from
Jon Snow, yeah.
Jon Snow. Yeah, you know nothing. We know nothing, but I have a very, very, very good feeling that American Airlines is not going to go bankrupt. Hopefully, and then in hopefully less than a year they'll be back up to those numbers. So done it a couple of times already, has worked out great. So we're just gonna take those dollars and put it back in. How is Brian managing his dumpster fire? This dumpster fire. I don't think he's a great at risk management, man. So Brian, I'm not worried. We're not worried about Brian at all.
Yeah.
We're not worried about Brian. He does
Yeah,
well.
we're not.
Yeah, we're not worried about it. And he's not like a heavy swing trader. Like he'll get into a lot of positions, but he'll back off and not take any swing trades. He'll close all his positions out and sit on cash. Like we've seen him do that before.
Yep.
So he's not out here pushing the envelope. He's good day trade. He could do a lot of other things. So wow, Nvidia making a new low, friends. Look at that. So it came back up to the VWAP. Look at this. See, this is why I like this. Not closing above the VWAP. Look how significant, how important that is. Tried a couple of times, was not able to, and then right back down, even faster this time, to the low of the day, and we got this level 95.33 coming up, which is the low of the pre-market, and our 8 a.m. candle. Our 8 a.m. candle. Which, by the way, Pierre, look how interesting this is. Look at this. I did not watch this, but look at this 8 a.m. stuff here. I know you
Yep.
look at this. That is
See? Yep.
it's nice.
Brackets the price, active price
Yeah.
levels, doesn't it?
It sure does. No, Rafa, no. Man, I'm sitting really good right now on my trade, so I'm all out at the moment and just watching. I don't think I'm gonna put on any more risk for today. So it's Friday, so I think I'm just gonna watch the markets. Maybe there could be something. It's a lot of time left, but it's got to be so clear. Like it's got to be A plus plus plus, and even then, I'm still gonna take maybe half size. Like if I do decide to get into something, because I'm not giving my money back. I made my money. I am not giving it back.
I'm not giving
No,
it back, damn it.
no. No, done that many times. And I know people, it's counterintuitive, right? People say like, well, if your strategy shows up, take the trade. Doesn't matter if you make your money or not. No, I think it does to a certain extent, because your psychology. If I take a trade now, full size, and I lose, let's say, half of what I just made, that's in my pocket at the moment. If I give that back, my psychology is not going to be okay with that. I know that's what
Right.
you're supposed to do, but I'm not going to be okay with that. That's going to mess me up. Right? That's going to trigger over trading. It's going to trigger me trying to make my money back, and I'm just not going to get in a situation where I'm going to feel that way, right? So I know you're not supposed to trade that way, but that's you got to protect your mindset, you know?
Exactly, and that's I think the most important point, right? Like there's the the technical statement of what optimal trading looks like, but you have to factor in your own personal psychology. And Carlos, like if that's going to set you off for the rest of the day or even going into next week, then it's not worth it, right? Like you're better off just keep the money and keep your mind calm, and you can go then nice and comfortably into your next trading opportunity. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's the key is to acknowledge it and be able to make sure you're taking the right actions.
100%.
Easier said than done, of course. But.
Oh yeah, and you're right. Easier said than done, because before I would have been trading all over the place, and I'd done this a couple of times, or I'd given my money a couple of times. So it's easier now because I know the pain on the other side when it doesn't go the way I plan, right? So
Yeah.
And the pain is
It,
usually bigger than the reward. Like sometimes it does work out, and now I have even a bigger day. You know what, Peter? I don't
yeah.
remember those days as much as the bad ones.
Yep.
Because the bad
Yeah.
ones, they hurt, mess you up.
Absolutely. It's one of the reasons why personally I don't have a daily target. People talk about that, like what's your target for the
Yeah,
day? I don't have one because
yeah,
I
same
don't
here.
want to have a point at which I'm trying to get to. Because sometimes you will force a trade. Like, let's say your
Hmm.
daily target for the sake of argument is like $200. Even if it's a modest $200, imagine if you're $180 and you're like, let me just push for that one trade. And then you go from 180 to 150. And now you're like, geez, like, okay, that wasn't that bad of a trade, but now I'm $50 away. Let me find another one. And you push again, and then you can drop another $50, $60. Like, like that type of thing, I think weighs on you. Whereas I'm just like, if there's a trade, I will take it. If there's not, I won't. Doesn't matter if
Yeah,
I'm at $50, 150, or 550, right? Like it's
yeah.
just, I just let the trades dictate what I'm going to do, as opposed to trying to force for some artificial number. At least that's my perspective. Now, that being said, I absolutely have a stop loss, because you've got to know when it's
Yeah,
just not
yeah.
working, right? And that stop loss is
Hmm.
important, because if it's just not working, that's when you've got to be your best coach, and you say, I'm benching you, I'm taking you out of the game. It's hard to do.
Yep.
When you're in it, you want to keep playing, no matter how bad you're playing. And again, I love the sports analogies. To me, this is a perfect example where, if anybody's ever played a sport, if you're not playing well, you're still desperate to stay on the field. You want to make it
Hmm.
back. You want to prove you can do it, right? No, coach, leave me in. But, for the good of the team, the coach is like, get the hell
For
out
the
of
good
here.
of your
You're done
account,
for the
you
Hit
know?
the showers, man. You're done,
Yeah,
right? But it's hard for you to
100%.
back that stuff, because you need to be the coach and the player at the same time. It's very hard to do. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Wow, friends, we are getting the waterfall is open, my friend. The floodgates. This is down,
Mhm.
down, down right now, and everything. So we're feeling the pain at the moment. Um, so yeah, someone asked you about the courses. Yes. So here's the link. With that link, what you're going to get is this $19. It's a way to kind of test things out and see, what you think about our community, the chat room. You get access to the chat room for a week, so you get to see Andrew and Brian trade live, which they're right here. I'll show you what that looks like, and just also chat with our members right over here. So you can take a look at that. And then you got a couple of screens, like here's Andrew's screen, here's Brian's screen. Usually has bookmap up. I'll switch it so you guys can see. Usually he's looking at bookmap with AMD, Tesla, PLTR, and Nvidia. All right, so he'll go switch through those. This is our live trading screen here, and this is Andrew. So you get access to that, plus the videos I spoke about earlier, right? So if you look at here, you get access to this fundamental education videos as well. Okay, so yeah, and if you like what you see, you got the option to join the community. So pretty cool stuff. Friends, if you haven't done so already, really appreciate a thumbs up. We're sitting at, let's take a look here, is 238. So we'd love to hit 400. 400 is a good number. Like 400 sets us up for the weekend. And I feel good at 400. 238, I don't feel great. I mean, it's just like, okay, but we don't feel great. So if you can help us get there, that would be awesome. Just a reminder, me and Peter are not responsible for the way your 401k looks right now with this market. So it's not our fault. Hit that thumbs up, and let's see if we get a reversal in the next couple of days. But this is not our fault. uh, let's see. Actually, I
Do
do.
we take credit on the upside? Are we going to be those people?
I
If
don't know,
when
but
it's all going well.
we're just not gonna say anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah, we're just not gonna
yeah,
say anything. Oh man, good
yeah.
stuff.
No, can't be responsible either way, frankly.
There you
We're just
go.
here to help guide. The decisions are yours,
Yes,
good or
yes.
bad.
Do you have a French speaking community? We do now. We have French speakers in our community, but
Yeah,
not the community or the courses. But we got a lot of uh, French speakers in the
bien
community.
sûr, oui. On peut
There you
parler
go.
français si vous voulez, mais
Uh-huh.
pour la plupart, c'est en anglais. So there you go.
I don't know what he said, but it sounded good.
Okay. All right. Well, it's
All
all
right,
right. You
excellent
can speak
friends.
Spanish, Carlos, and I won't understand you as much. So there.
Oh man.
In fact, it was funny for me because There was a couple times. There was actually when you were on the phone a couple of times when we were at the when we were in Vancouver,
Yeah,
and or there was that one time when I walked into the conference room where you were sitting and working on something, right?
yeah.
And you're busy speaking Spanish, and I'm like, geez, like I don't normally see you doing that. So
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, yeah.
it was funny to. It's funny when you see people in, you get to meet them in person.
Yeah,
Different side.
that's true. That's very true. Yeah, man. This event, meeting our members and everything was just freaking awesome. So one of the
Yeah.
benefits, aside from the presentation and everything else, just kind of being with the members and all of that. And again, can't wait for next year, guys. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be epic. How epic compared to this one? I don't know. This was really good, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. Are those videos you had up different from those on Trading Terminal? Yes, they are. Those are newer. So what happens is usually the Trading Terminal stuff is usually a little bit more outdated. The ones that are free, not the ones that you pay for. The ones you pay for is top quality stuff, right? So you're going to get some real good information there. Those guys that are the Paris, Avi, Thor, the ones that are premium, they put in a lot of work. It's a good material.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, tradingterminal.com, there's a bunch of free stuff there for you. I mean, just a bunch. When I found it, I thought it was a mistake, to be honest. And I think we found it together here on YouTube. And I brought it up. I said, listen, join this and go get the free videos because this could be a mistake and it could change by the time the programmers made a mistake there, right? They forgot to block that. So they were going to blame everything on the programmers.
So we seem to be picking on programmers today. So
no, we really love them. We love you guys. Right, Jeremy? Those programmers. Damn it.
It's all
Yes,
right.
indeed.
They've got it was funny, like for me coming from a programming background, I must qualify.
Mhm.
I've never coded a line of code professionally, but I did go to school, computer science,
Yeah.
programming.
Nice.
But I was in management, and in management, it was always your ideal programming group were the ones where you could keep them locked in a smelly room. You just, we used to joke that we would want to feed pizza through the slot in the door, and code would come out the bottom. So just keep pushing the pizzas in, and the code goes out the bottom.
The more pizza you put in, the faster the code gets done.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ask how it happens. Don't worry about it. We don't want to really interact with them. Just
Yeah. 100%.
when you say your ideal day, you know what? I honestly don't measure my ideal day. Like if you're really talking ideal, and this is
Right.
I know this is going to sound counterintuitive if you haven't sort of been trading for a while, but honestly, the days I feel best about, the days that are ideal would be a day where I have executed every single trade I've taken to my strategies without a procedural failure, and I've taken every single trade that's set up. So I'm an under trader. You guys have seen me show you this sign many, many times in the past, right? Take the damn trade. So if I can have a day where I've taken every trade that I've seen that matches my strategic setup and I executed them flawlessly, that's an ideal day. Because I know if I can do that consistently, the money will follow. And I don't, I don't know, like whether the trade is going to work or not work, whether it's going to, give me a couple of times my risk or 20 times my risk. But that's my description of an ideal day.
Yeah, man, I'm in line with you. It's a great example. Look at yesterday. Yesterday I took 2 losses, right? Apple and Nvidia. But the setup, forget about the money. The setup is a setup I took today and taken the rest of this week, right? And has made money, right? So ideally for me, it's all about the process. Like you got to put the money aside. The money got me burned 3 years ago, big time. So now I know it's not about the money. It's about the process. Didn't know that at first starting out, got burned a couple of times. So the ideal day for me is when I trade like I did today, where I saw my signal, I took my signal, and that's it. What happens after that, whether I make $100, $200, $300, $1,000, doesn't really matter. As long as I did that part right, I read the price action correctly, took my entry, and if I would have stopped, I would have stopped out when I needed to. When I trade well like that, that is what's up. That's what makes me feel really good. So today was awesome. Yesterday, I had 2 losses. I did the exact same thing. Didn't work out. But again, not ideal as far as the outcome. But my execution was amazing. Like, I'm happy with my execution. I mean, you gotta separate the two on how you execute and how the outcome is, right? If you can execute good every single time, you're gonna get the outcome eventually if you have a good trade book, right? So it's all about the execution. But again, I know it sounds like fluff, guys. I get it, because listen, I've been trading for 7 years. And when I started 7 years ago, you told me this, I'll be like, what the heck this guy's talking about? I'm trying to make money. I'm risking $300 on this trade to try to make 600, 900. That was me, 2018, right? Then after you get burned a couple of times, you realize that this doesn't work this way. It just doesn't work this way, right? You got to focus on the process. Then you're going to be talking the way I'm talking now, the way Peter's talking, right? But hopefully we can give you some knowledge where you can take that with you and apply it, especially for new traders. Older traders know exactly what we're talking about because they've been there. We all go through it. But for new traders, it's got to understand that. Got to understand that mindset. And it's not that easy, like Peter said. Easier said than done, 100%.
You're asking some good questions, Sridhar. So clearly, it seems to me you're trying to figure out what your trading should look like. Frankly, it's very individual, right? There's no absolute right or wrong answers here. We want to be clear about that. But but I will answer for myself. Number of trades I take, I don't have a max number of trades. We do teach a theory where you should be trading 5 trades max. There's a combination of wins and losses that go in there, but that's a learning process. For me right now, having done this for 8 years full time, and I've been trading for 25 years, nice. I take on average, it's somewhere around 3.4 trades a day. That's my average. But really, that represents a number anywhere between 0, if I don't find any, and about 8. That's my average range, right? Is really 0 to 8 trades. I know when I've traded 8 trades, it usually means I'm having a worse day than when I've traded 0 to 3. It's just inevitable that when you have losses, you end up taking more trades. So, that's why we have a max loss and a cutoff. I'm very fortunate that I very rarely hit my max loss. I've got one, but I very rarely hit it because I'm very cautious. So, hopefully that gives you some idea. But again, that's not right for everybody. There are people that are very successful who only take 2 trades max no matter what a day. There's others that are very successful, then they take 20, 30, 40 trades a day. We've got a trader in our chat room, Gary L. I don't know how many he takes, but he is actively trading all day. I would not be surprised if he takes 30 to 40 trades a day. Like, that guy is just very active. But it's doing great. So nothing wrong with that. I think you're on mute.
Just unmuted it. FOMO, I think Tesla just did a dead old cat bounce. Yeah. The reversals now, we're a little bit early. We're starting to get to that 10:30, so you got to be more patient. But you got to keep in mind, we are in a bloodbath right now, and it means it's red everywhere. So reversals, be very careful. And I'm not great at reversals, as you guys know, but just be careful because it's just a lot of red here, and the SPY keeps making new low. So just the overall market sentiment seems to be weak. Not saying it's gonna stay like this. We've seen it, around 12. You might get a little pop. We just don't know. But reversals now are looking pretty ugly.
Oh. Big order stacking up on Nvidia at 95.
Yeah,
looks like it's
trying to huge orders, man. Is that 7 million? 7 million. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of shares sitting there. So yeah, see, there you go.
Maybe. What would that be? So I saw 7,000. What would that be? 7,000 is how much, Peter? You had 207.
That would be 700,000. Yeah.
700,000. Okay, that's I'm not 7 million. 7 million seems too much. 700,000. That's still a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of. Well, you can see. Look at this minute alone. We're 40 seconds in, and we've got 2.7 million shares. So yeah, it's a lot of volume going through here in this minute.
Yep.
So this might be the capitulation low. We'll see. Like, this is the type of thing that I look for reversal signals. Again, I'm not calling it at this point. I'm just saying big volume spike. Often that's a sign of, potential reversal areas. We'll see.
Yep.
I'm not seeing the same volume in any other stock really, just on Nvidia. So the market might not be ready to reverse.
Yeah. Wow, that is brutal. Hard to understand how Nvidia is this low. Well, it's hard. It's not hard, but it's interesting, this price range. But when this market, look at Tesla, 240.
I mean, where are we? We're at the May 2024 levels here. So yeah. we've pretty much lost a year's worth of worth of growth at all-time highs, right? Like if you look at a daily chart, it's very interesting. If you look at where we are now, basically all of that activity, anybody that was long over the from May to now of last year, they are now completely underwater, unless you're the 5 people that happened to bought on August the 2nd 2024, that one day where we spiked below this level on, I'm looking at Nvidia here, but as opposed to Tesla, but there you go. So yeah, it's just, you got that one day that spiked lower than where we are now. Other than that, we're into this gap. Well, we've actually bridged the gap that happened back in May, and we're to that area that it had consolidated after that big move up at the beginning of 2024. So again, it's very interesting area for Nvidia, and I would say very important that it holds above 90. If we start getting below 90, this could get very ugly.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. But volatility is just, what is the VIX? The VIX is, what are we sitting at? Usually the fear indicator. How are we doing today? VIX at 38. What's as high as 46?
That's pretty high.
Yeah,
that's pretty high. Anything over 25 is pretty high. So
yeah. Trade tariffs is overshadowing the market. Yeah, man. It's the pain.
Clearly,
the pain. See how low can it go? It's so funny when he was when president was talking. Was it yesterday? Before yesterday, when he was announcing it, like, wow, it's going up. It was like the market was going up. Somebody has a video. Somebody posted a video where he's talking. The market's going up as the words he's saying, and like they correlated it perfectly. It was really good. And then once he brought out the chart, it's like, right?
Yeah.
I was
that
like,
chart,
yeah.
I don't know what the expectation was on that chart, but I can't imagine they were happy with the response as soon as that chart came in. And people are, look, people are doing crazy things, dissecting that chart and looking at some of
they're going nuts with it. I know.
And there was one I guess it's reasonable out of the White House, you would expect 100% accuracy or a high degree of accuracy on that. But there was one, they kept pointing out the McDonald Islands or something. I can't remember. There was one where there literally are no humans on that island. It's like, we're not sure what the tariff is on because only penguins live there. So here's one of those, and I'm like, I don't know. Let's not get lost in that. The fact that what's more important is that we're announcing global tariffs. Like, you basically said to every single person, friend or foe, that you do business with, I am going to be charging you more, significantly more in many cases. So that's it's a big statement.
We have to see what happens for the next couple of days, right? Because these guys are going to start again talking, negotiating. So next week will be interesting. Like we've seen the administration just change, right? From that to something else. So we got to be on the lookout. If some negotiations start coming into place, especially with China and the EU. It could change things quickly. So someone mentioned that this all could change with just one headline, right? So it's going to keep us on our toes here, but just be ready to take advantage of whatever is available to us here, especially on listen, long-term stuff. If you're underwater or swing trading, very difficult. But for day trading if you already have the experience and been through a few of these, like me and Peter have already. Not many, like, for example, someone that's been trading for 20 plus years, actively trading for 20 plus years. We've been through a few of these already, right? With COVID, with some other downturns where negative news. So this is a great time for day traders to take advantage.
Yeah. So I was actually just sitting here positioning myself for a potential long on Nvidia, waiting to see what happens here as it retests the low. I do not like the fact that there's a bunch of orders on the bid. So I'm not thinking this might be a good decision, but this is the reversal type pattern that I normally look for, right? We got big volume at the low of day. And then, we had a little bit of a bounce up. Now we're making a retest. Now, this could be a retest to break lower. That's why I've got to watch here. Low of day is currently 94.56, and we're pretty darn close to that. So if we break that, which it looks like we're about to, it's holding in 56. There we go. We just broke lower, so that means my trade is off, not taking a long. Looks like we're going lower. So just sharing with you guys. So this is how I evaluate trades, right? Because I'm a reversal trader, so I'm always looking for the reversal opportunities, and that was one that was setting up live for us.
Yeah.
We talk about journaling a lot. Since you guys are asking a lot of great questions about what it's like to be a new trader and how to take advantage of these things. One of the things I always recommend that I think is often overlooked is the need to journal all your decisions, right? Not just the trades you took, but it's good to journal the decisions that caused you not to trade. So for example, that decision I just talked about in Nvidia, to me, that's a journalable, I think I just made up a word.
I think you did, but sounds good.
Event. Anyways, because I made a decision, right? Even though I didn't take the trade, it's worth going back and reviewing that, and all the decisions I make not to take a trade and say, well, was that the right decision, right? Was it the right criteria? Because you can get, confidence as well as learning opportunities from that. Because I might look back and say, you know what, that was a good decision, smart decision. I followed my criteria. The criteria made sense, and it kept me out of what could have been a losing trade. So or you might go back and look at them and say, you know what, 5 times I made this decision, and 4 of the 5 times the trade actually worked. So did I make the wrong decision, or do I have the wrong criteria? Like, you can learn a lot from those. So just food for thought, right? Don't only journal the trades you actually do take. Journal your decision process and all the decisions you make.
That's a good point. That's a really, really good point. Go in there. I'm gonna ban you from our chat. He says, I'm still in Nvidia. I took it with you. I added at VWAP. Turned out to be a good trade. You can't be trading better than I am. What is wrong with you?
Come on, Carlos. You can't be a slow loser. You gotta be happy for everybody.
Can't be trading better than I am on my own trade. No, man. Congratulations. Congrats, man. If you're in this, awesome. Just awesome.
How do I manage my stop loss as a reversal trader? My stop loss is usually actually fairly straightforward, right? My bread and butter are these high of day, low of day trades. So for example, Nvidia here at low of day. So right prior to the break, if you look at the 1030 candle, the low of the day at that point was $94.56. I just use the sevens because.
Hey, Carlos.
Hey, good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, buddy. How are you doing?
Good.
Great. Let me just, finish?
Peter's just going to finish a point he's making, then we'll switch over to you.
So my stop loss is always below the low of the day by a couple of cents. So being that the low of the day at that point was at 94.56, my stop loss was at 94.47, right? It's below the 50 level mark. It gives me a couple of cents to play with in case it just poked through by a penny or two, but that would have been my stop. Again, the trade setup failed, so I didn't actually enter the trade, but that's where I was prepared to put my stop if it had held that low and started to move higher. So, and it's the same thing if it's a short off of the long of the day. I put it just above the high. So hopefully that helps. So Andrew, how's your day going?
Pretty good. I had a really good trade on TQQ, Apple. And I had a loss on PLTR. Overall, turned out to be a very profitable day for me in terms of day trade. My main accounts are getting hit really bad because I had TQQ and TNA, and I got really,
Hmm.
really bad losses on that. And I'm kind of stuck on that. So 2022 is all happening all over again because these leverage products are good until they're not. So I got really hit bad on those ones. But day trade was good. I know
Okay.
you did a nice short on Nvidia, Carlos. Very nice.
Yeah, yeah, got a good breakdown there. So, and a lot of members in the YouTube took it too. So, one of them traded better than I did. He got added still in. I'm like, you can't be doing that. You can't be trading better than I am in my own trade. Not acceptable, but yeah,
Yeah, I know
good thing.
Brian also had a very, very nice, very nice trade on Tesla, the short at the open. So that was quite interesting.
Where's Brian? Is he joining us?
Brian is will join us.
Okay.
Maybe he took out went to get a coffee or something.
Okay. Awesome. We'll stick around while he comes. Yeah, but it's the bloodbath is real today. Wow, it's ugly.
The pain is real, indeed. It
The
is.
humanity. Let's see here. SQQQ going crazy. Let's take a look. SQQQ. Yeah.
SQQQ is by going to the roof.
Yep.
SQQ is 48. Yeah, it's a very, very nice pop on SQQQ.
Wow, look at these pull downs. I mean, I'm looking at Hood and AFRM and PLTR. They all have very similar charts. Big moves down. So a lot of similar movement today, right? Where we had like the little false break higher at the open, little pull down. That's the one that Carlos and I traded. And then retest of the VWAP could not break through, and then just this big drop. And again, so many things look so similar. It's showing showing again general market movement. It's not good, not good.
Yeah, Joshua is asking about the Bitcoin. Surprisingly, Bitcoin um, as a risky asset has maintained its level.
Yeah,
Again,
what is
these
the price?
new
Yeah.
tariff policies are impacting um, American companies and their economic activity with different part of the world. Because Bitcoin is an asset that is not being directly traded in the between economies, it seems that has been holding. And exactly this one comes, that shows that the uncertainty in the market that comes only for the operation of the companies, and again the import and export between them. Um, at this moment, John, I have to agree that this is a store of value. Yes. We get some question, guys. Yeah, so Jonathan Russell is asking question about the leverage products. So the leverage products are like TNA and TQQ. They're all designed for intraday trading or very short-term trading because in the moments of extreme volatility, like these environments, they got crushed, and then they come when it comes back, they're not coming back to the previous one. So when the market drops 20%, TQQ drops 60%. And if the market goes back up 20% from the bottom, TQQ goes up 60%, but starting from the bottom, it doesn't go back to the previous price that it was. So on a daily chart, on the longer term, in the big volatility environment, they're not following the price. Their moves on that's why on the long term hold on the events of extreme volatility, like right now, they are destroying accounts. And my accounts got destroyed really bad, both of them, because I was holding them, unfortunately. Um, and I should have known better, but again, same mistake that I did in 2022, and I got almost over $1 million loss on it. Um, But it's that's one of the reasons that I'm actually super angry at myself is that. But again, that's a different argument. Same as TSLL, this 2 times leverage. 2 is a little bit better than 3. 3 is are getting really, really destroyed. I just never really. So the question is, why am I not trading uh, futures? Um, it's just I never really learned it, so I always focus on day trading equities and their leverage products as well. So that's where I am. Shane, is a loss. I sold my TNA for a big loss, and yeah, so for me, it is a very serious loss for now. Yeah, I still have my VO position. Um, yeah, JEPQ, Abu Bakr, JEPQ is a good position to have, especially in the downturn market. I think JEPQ is a very, very good position to have. Yeah. So Zach Al is asking why just sell TNA and not hold it again. In the events of extreme volatility, these 3 times leverage get destroyed, and holding them on the way down is not a good idea. So it's better to accept the loss and buy them when the event of volatility has come. Yeah, exactly. You did the calculation nice, Salashi. So it's a very good point. It's like losing 90% on $10, you get $1. And then gaining 90% on $1 would be only $1.90. So the book is gonna come out in the couple of weeks, just one last round of editing. No, I still have the SPXL Alberto, and it's not doing well at all. So
All right. So sorry about that. Sorry for taking a long time to get on here. I had some problems with vMix.
even it's a big book, and editing takes a long time. So yeah, so the market is really tanking right now
Wow.
here.
Yeah, Tesla's just going, is just dropping like a stone here. All right. Tesla is tanking. It's interesting to look at what's really getting hit hard here. It's Meta's really dropping. Tesla's really dropping. Stuff like Apple's probably down 5%. Wow, PLTR is getting absolutely destroyed today. Thank God, the humanity. Yeah. So you compare that to Google, like Alphabet. Alphabet's only is down about 2% compared to a lot of these. It's down that are down 6, 7, 8%. Wow, airlines are down huge. UAL down 12%. Delta Airlines down 9%. Intel down 9%.
Yeah, Apple is also really losing it. At the opening was very strong, but
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable. What are we down on the Qs now? SPY is down another, by the looks of it, by about another 4%. Qs are down another 5% right now by the looks of it.
bloodbath everywhere. So Brian is asking how much further this can go. I think market has room to go down significantly still.
Yeah.
I mean, having said that, SPY is at the levels that it was in early 2024. So yes, the gains of the last year has gone up, but still compared to 2023, the markets in the last 2 years, SPY in the last 2 years still giving up 25%. The last 5 years, still 83% return. So the market still has room to go down significantly.
Yeah, we just don't know. I mean, may end up with a Black Monday event, or maybe not. Maybe there'll be some reconciliation over the weekend, and we could end up up 1,000 points
I
on
think
SPY. So
if it drops 7.5%, it's going to get halted exchanges. If you get 7.5%, so Qs, if it drops another 2.5%, then exchanges get halted. And then if it drops 15%, I think it's halted for 1 day. Do you guys find this a little bit aggressive? This aggressive sellings, again, the market is all about, the certainty of investors about the future. And these new trade policies are bringing a lot of uncertainties because inherently they are negotiation tools, and the negotiation takes time. And we had this conversation in the chat room today that why they're doing it and what are they trying to achieve from this. And again, it's not a political statement; it's just evaluating this policy and impact it on the market. The idea here is that the administration is trying to send a message to all partners, and that's why they started with Mexico and Canada because Mexico and Canada are one of the largest trading partners, and they want a new way of doing business with US. Their idea is the US is the bigger consumers of the world, and we buy from everywhere in the world. But the world doesn't treat us fairly, and they're not allowing us to sell to them. Again, you can agree or disagree with this argument, but that's the argument that they're making. And if you want to have continuous relationship with the US as the biggest consumer of the world, then you have to treat us differently and treat China differently. So create a new bloc that come with us. We trade together, and we have some restriction on China because they're not playing with the free trade. And they don't believe in free trade. They believe in a fair trade. And it's very different, free trade and fair trade. Again, I was watching a couple of videos that there were example of the cars that Europeans are putting 10% tariff on all American cars, and they use that money to subsidize their steel industry. So the still an aluminum industry of the US can't compete, while we charge them only 2.5%. Again, it's the policy of the last 30 years. So the idea is now, let's change this. Let's come up with a new rule. And the sooner different countries respond to this new reward regime, it would be less costly for everybody. I mean, that's the argument. It's not a political one. It's evaluating this policy. And that's bad for investors because investors don't know. Nobody knows that what's going to happen.
Right. So we got a bit of a bounce there. Tesla came up to, went through the 9, hit the 20 and rejected. We're getting a bounce on the SPY and the Qs now. Really got oversold. So kind of due for a bounce.
It's gonna talk. I think J-Power is gonna say probably the same thing that I always said, that their policy depends on the economic data that is slowly showing up, and then they make the decision. And if the economy is showing signs of weakness, then they're gonna be less restrictive and reducing the rate. But his message has always been, like I was watching his book, that we can't comment on the policymakers and elected officials. We just follow the path of the economy, which will be impacted by the elected officials' policy. And that's how the democracy works. The people who got elected, they implement some stuff, they change the economy, and then the Federal Reserve react based on the economical data that they have. So they're not changing their policy because of political pressure or political policies.
Yeah, so Powell is speaking, I think, at some point.
Any question, guys, about this trading? So the question is, can we get into trading? Yeah, I should be able to trade right now. I think it's a good environment to trade. But just the risk management is very important. And also the instrument that you're trading could be different, like SQQQ or TQQ. Usually in the normal environment, you don't trade them because just not much pattern and volatility. But these are the environment that you trade. Like, for example, today I traded TQQ. So market seems that it found the bottom. SPY at 510. Where is that 510 level that I found? Oh, 510 is right at the bottom of August 2024.
I just got along some Tesla here, so see where it goes. Trading the 242.50 calls. So just in at $4. I'll take some off here at 450. Gonna hit $5 now, pretty close. 480, 490. Here we go. $5. Selling some more.
Yeah, that was a nice bounce.
Yeah, I like kind of the way it looked like it hit the 9 EMA, kind of pulled back, or the 20 EMA pulled back, then bounced off the 9. I really liked how it held there. So now we're gonna maybe get them. We'll hold a few here, see if we get back to the VWAP, which is 246, 247 maybe. If we can get up there, that'd be great.
Microalgo. What was the ticker for microalgo? MLGO. That one was crazy, huh?
Microalgo, MLGO, yeah.
The IPO NMAX. This is down. Yeah, finally Newsmax slowed down. It's a crazy move. Guys, it's 8 a.m. I had a pretty good day on day trading. Again, long-term accounts are not doing well at all, but day trading, we focus on
Yeah.
day trading portion here.
Yeah,
Brian,
my
congratulations on
yeah, my
the test
long-term accounts took a big hit. Took a bit of a hit too. Price, did I get long Tesla? Just I'm not really sure. Whatever was around $4 on the put on the calls. It was probably somewhere around 242. Not really liking the price action here on it, so I might get out of the rest of them before I lose end up losing money on them. We'll see. We'll see if this holds here. This pullback holds. Looks like we might go up. We got some volume come in on the buy side. All right.
Again, 510 as I'm speaking this. Let's see the weekly chart. It would be nice too. Yeah. So again, on the weekly chart, the weekly chart is very nice. We can actually exactly see this.
Okay, here we go. We're pushing higher now on Tesla. That's good. Awesome. Awesome. Look at that.
Yeah, so there is some big moves happening right now in the market.
Yeah, and maybe I think is Powell speaking now? All right, I'm going to sell. I'm selling more here at 625, 242.50 calls. That was a nice move.
Yeah, that was a really solid squeeze. That might trigger a shorter squeeze.
We've got 11:25 is when, so 8:25 my time. So another 20 minutes or so, Fed Powell is going to be speaking. So just be aware of that market, there could be more market volatility. I'm not sure if he's going to take if it's a venue where he's going to take questions or if it's just a speech. "23 minutes. Yeah, it's 11:25. I just said it's 8:25 my time, being on the I'm on the West Coast here. So yeah, 11:25 Eastern.
So Hitch, the Diamond membership comes with a Peak Capital Bootcamp as well, and 1 year of membership.
All right, here we go. Just see if we get up to VWAP here. I'm just got a few puts left. Few calls, I should say. Wow.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm gonna hand it over to Thor.
Yeah.
Thank you guys in YouTube. And
Yeah,
see you guys.
nice long on PLTR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting a real rally here. Nice, yeah, PLTR, nice move off the bottom there. So yeah, we're gonna cut it off now. So everybody have a good weekend. Be very careful if you're thinking about swing trading stuff over the weekend. I'm not going to unless I do something really funky like buy a far out of the money put or call on SPY or Qs and just see if we get any just a bit of a lottery ticket maybe. So all right, take care, everybody. Have a nice weekend. See you,
Is
miss
there
you
any
over,
news that
Andrew.
came out, or this one just a technical level bounce?
Maybe.
One news is that Vietnam is removing their tariffs.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Here we go. $7 on the calls now. I'm taking the rest off. All right. Good way to end the day. Cheers.
Awesome. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Hey, boss.
Hey Andrew, hey Brian. Uh, what's up, everyone? How is everyone on YouTube? So Tesla is bouncing right now. Yeah, today is one of those days when I'm very profitable, but uh, not happy. Uh, I got a really good move on Tesla, but did not manage my position well on my ads. Uh, but how is everybody doing? It's a great day to trade in, to be honest. Great day to be a day trader. Especially when if you are a more of a momentum trader. I think it's a volatility is great. Things have been very, yeah, wild and crazy day. So, and yeah, Gurinder, that's the exact same thing I've been having. I got this move on Tesla, shorted the 257. And I knew it was gonna go to 240. I knew it. I like, okay, let me add, but I got aggressive around this area. And my stop loss was just above the VWAP, and I had a hard stop, like I had a hotkey that puts a stop for me. And I literally got stopped out and then it rode another $10 to the downside. So not a great feeling overall. And it happened to me two times. And this one I was chickened out. Sorry, this one was a hard stop. And then I took one shot on Apple and I caught the top. I caught 197 right here at 197.30. And I got chickened out. I don't know why. And this literally dropped from 197 to 191. Man. So, uh, so overall green on the day, but very disappointed with the way I traded. I traded Nvidia too. And kind of break even. Tried at the open, I was long a couple of times, stopped out, very small stop out on the, and then I'm trying to long again two times, but it's break even on the ticker. Did not capture that bounce that I was looking for. I captured one bounce where it popped up, but now it's selling off again. So not sure what SPY is willing to do here. And I think this could be a good bounce, to be honest. So if it pulls short right here, and oh, really? Can we refresh it? I don't know. Or my stock is, ah, man, I wanted to go long Nvidia. So, but let me restart on this thing. I don't know why. Let's do something. Oh man, I wanted to go long Nvidia. I messed up. Let me share my screen. Can you guys see it? Or now you can see it. So, so yeah, I tried to capture the bottom on Nvidia. It did pop up, but it wasn't stepping up above 95. So I was like, okay, I stopped out at break even. But now Nvidia is actually looking good. Let me see if it gives us a chance. Let's see if it has a big bid on the downside. Let's see if it drops and then pops back up. But what an order flow, guys. I love this order flow. And Tesla is, where is Tesla? Tesla is doing the same thing. Uh, but Tesla, now the SPY is selling off again. Uh, Nvidia is trying to pop up. Yeah, it's strong now, Nvidia. Yeah, man, I wanted to go long at 94 area. This could have been a really good trade. Mm. First, can you share your trades today and share the yeah. I'm sharing my screen, so you guys should be able to see my screen. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about in much more detail, Rohit. But I'm trying to see if I can get a long on Nvidia. Nvidia has a very strong bullish price action. But if it doesn't give me a chance. At 94 was a very good area to get in. And I was thinking about it, but then try to fix that screen share issue. But now it's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up to VWAP now. Missed that move. Tesla is also similar, very similar approach. What is PLTR doing? Yeah, PLTR bounced. So everything is bouncing, of course, the SPY with the SPY, but not in any of things right now. It's everything is very bullish. Wow. Ah, man. That would have been another great trade. Yeah, when you have this kind of an order flow and this kind of such a bullish price action, if you don't get a good entry and if you're not quick enough, you'll miss the boat. Anybody take that Nvidia that I was looking at on the long side? If I know, I did not go to Whistler because I had something to take care back home. I was initially planning on, but things changed. Uh, but man, what a market to miss. I feel sad for the Whistler people. This is a great market to trade. This is amazing. I and this is a market which is gonna give you opportunity all day. This is not a market that it's like it becomes dead after like 11 a.m. This is the market that gives you opportunity all day. Very nice call. Very nice. Yeah, that was a very good trade at the higher level. This is a higher high. Mm. Yeah, now it's breaking 96. It's going 96 is a big order on level 2. Very nice. Filled it. Very nice. Boom. Yeah, the SPY is bullish now. So everything, the character changed very quickly around here. This was a very good bounce from 92 to 93, and then the character changed from here. Same with Tesla. Tesla would be up 248. Yeah. Now the character has changed, guys. Character will not do not try to like short here. The reason you do not try to short here is because the meat of the move is on the long side now. The short side, you might capture, do a scalp here, there, 50 cents, $1, but the character of stock or the market has changed. So if you want to capture the real big meat of the move, you want to be in the long side, not on the short side at this point. In the past, at the open, the meat of the move was more on the short side than on the long side, but now character has changed. And that's the beauty of being a day trader. You identify this, you're not married to a position or you're not holding for a long time. Uh, and yeah, so you can capture either sides of the trade. I do swing, Peter. I do swing my trades, and but only when means I start as a day trading position, but and when it moves in my favor, I'll swing it for like 10% or 20%. But the positions that I usually hold are usually the option positions, which are usually credit spreads, debit spreads, or butterflies, which are usually trading premiums out of it. Those are the positions I hold for a week or a couple of weeks. But from a shares standpoint, I swing it only when a stock has moved in my favor a huge amount and I hold 10-20% of my position to swing it. So Nasmo, very good question. So time and position, so time and the thing is, as and when you get at, so the tape, the price movement at the later part of the day, the tape is not gonna have a lot of order flow. Once you go after 11 or 12, and it's gonna have like buying and then selling, buying and then selling. So it's more of a choppy price action on the thing because of the order flow. It will go up and the sellers will take over. So it's a middle of the day is usually the area where you have the stock has found a value, unless there is a specific catalyst to it. And then the character of the tape is different at the time of the day. At the open, it's going to be amazing because it's going to have a lot of order flow, have a lot of movement, and a lot of catalyst trying to identify what is the value area. But by 11, 12, the value area is already identified, and you'll usually see a balanced tape than imbalanced tape. What you're looking for is an imbalanced tape to capture those imbalances on either sides. But as and when you move forward on the day, you'll see a balance tape going up and down, and that's where you get stuck in the chop, right? So that's where you wanna like the tape will still be there, but it won't that be valuable as compared to the initial time of the day. So PLTR going up, Tesla, Nvidia, everything is stepping up. That would have been a great long. I captured Nvidia on the long side at 94, but then this was a very good extension, and then that bounce of engulfing is really nice. 93, 96. 94 was again a very good area to get back in. So everything is popping up now. The Tesla messed up my head, to be honest. I really got a really nice move on Tesla, and a person like me tries to capture that, big moves when they come in. And when they come in, I try to capitalize on them very quickly. And that's when I shorted. Like this could have made my week, but unfortunately, this did not do it. So the way I looked at this particular thing, right? So what you want to see is this was gapping down. Everything was gapping down at this area. This area was a very important area. Try to step up. And now I'm looking at interested in what is happening after above 257. So 257 was a level I was like, okay, 257 that I'm interested in. And I would want to see a drop, pull back, and then sell off again. And that's what my whole intention was. My 245 and 240 were those levels. I was like, okay, these are very much possible today. And as you can see, it went to 236. But because of the weakness the stock had right there, once it started, right, this is where the tape understanding comes in. So I have a level, it did pop at this area. No, there is no reason for me to get in. If I want to short at 230, 257, and no reason because the tape is actually very bullish. Why would I go against the what do you call the buying pressure? Or why would I go against all the like a bulldozer is coming in front of me? I'm not gonna just stand in front of it. So I let it settle. And then when it popped up, I was like, okay, now it's gonna go up and then pull back and then go higher. But it did not pull back and go higher. It actually went below this, came to this point, and now this is a very important area for you to understand how is the buying pressure here. Like this buying pressure, there was a buying volume come in, but there's a very huge selling volume. This is what you call as a trap. And I talk about that multiple times. This is where a lot of people would go long, pull back, go long. And this is where if it starts selling at this area, a lot of buyers would get trapped and they would squeeze to the downside. And that's exactly what happened. So this is a very common pattern that institutions use. They would bounce at a specific VWAP level and then uh, maybe like trap a lot of people, generate liquidity around this area, and then sell off. And that's when I started seeing a selling pressure. That's why I went short and then scaled out. This is a 10-point move from 257 to 248, 9-point move right there. And now I'm looking for a pullback. And this area, I was seeing a lot of selling pressure. I shorted some. I was looking for the low of the day, and then I tried to trap a lot of people again. But then again, the selling pressure took over, and I was looking, okay, now I'm gonna add more. And this was the aggressive add. I would have held this thing. I would have had some position until 255, above 255. But the second ad was very aggressive, and that's why it missed this thing. So then I'm looking for it. I had a stop out above the VWAP and I got stopped out. And as you can see, I missed that board of this move on the downside. So this move on the downside is something that I missed. And ideally, I would have loved to, if it drops right here, I would have added more here at this point and then added more at these areas, scaled out. Yeah, and here I wouldn't have added and then scaled out below 240. That's what I would have done. But yeah, it's missed this move, unfortunately. But overall, still a good day, but not happy with it. Apple was one of the trades where I'm very like it messed up again my psychology piece of it. I literally caught the top, like right here. I literally saw a seller and it dropped, but very quickly there was a buyer stepping up. I was like, okay, now I chickened out of it. And this, like from 197.50, it's dropped to 191. Ideally, I would have added here at this area and then scaled out to my profits of low of the day, which is 193 right here. So yeah, missed couple of moves that were actually great thesis, but did not capitalize on them, to be honest. And this is the impact of volatility, to be honest. When you have a high volatility, the breathing area for the stocks increase. and you're not habituated to that breathing area because of the high volatility environment, and you tend to chicken out, and you tend to feel that, and that's where you have to adapt. And today is one of those learnings for me is like I didn't adapt to the volatility with the situation. Had I given a little bit more room, usually Tesla doesn't move that kind of like same with the Tesla, the volatility that it had for a stock to breathe and then go lower. I should have given a little bit more room there. Same with Apple. Uh, Instead of getting chickened out on Apple, I should have the give, because when you're trying to get in a stock like Apple, I would give like 20-30 cents stop. But today I should have given like at least 50 cents a stop, because because of the increase in the volatility on the stock. And a stock doesn't, like Apple in the past doesn't move like $6-7 in a hard, like in a matter of 10-15 minutes, but it does. And that's why that's the benefit that you get as a day trader, to capture that volatility, or increase in the volatility. So yeah, any questions I can take up, guys. Today is Friday. Be careful. Do not do not overtrade, or do not get overboard, because you have to stay with that for the rest of the weekend. So 248, Nvidia sold off really hard. SPY sold off really hard. I'm looking for the 5 minute candle. So yeah, thank you, Adrian. Uh, The presentation was really, really well. I got a really good feedback from all the folks, and that makes you feel a lot better when people are able to get value out of what you're. And my biggest challenge is I really like what I'm thinking in my head. I should be able to convey it in a most simplest form. And if I'm able to convey it, that's what makes me happy. And I think with the feedback that I received, I was able to do, and I'm happy with the way that I presented as well. So yeah, hopefully a lot of people got a lot of out of it. But I actually gave them everybody an homework as well, like the action item for the presentation, and I have not received any email yet on the action item. So I don't know. So hopefully people would send the action item. Yeah, that means a lot, Adrian. Yeah, I hope I see you had a tough week mentally. So NC Wave, my win rate is 45%. This I was initially standing at 51, 52, but this year overall combined, my win rate is 45%, and I'm still very profitable. The reason being is the risk reward. My average wins are very high as compared to the, but my win rate is 45% right now. So Powell is speaking right now. So Pia, depends on what kind of a trader you are. sometimes the news hits, you want to scalp it, you want to trade the momentum, well, trade it immediately. But if you are more of a wait and watch and see how the news adapts to it and how it trends follows, then you wait and see where the price action is and see where the imbalance on the price action is, or how the trend is being formed. If it's stepping up higher and then go higher, and then you can wait and trade around that. The kind of trader I am, I like to trade the momentum and the thing to get in first, and then think later if it's not working out, I'll get out. But I like trading momentum. So I have been able to trade 3 days this week. Sorry, 2 days this week. I came on Wednesday. No, I traded 3 days. Yes, I traded 3 days. Has been very good. The on Wednesday I came later in the afternoon, but uh I traded the what do you call the post market. I traded short at Tesla and I got a really nice move out of it. So it has been a really, really good day. Overall, like all like consistent green days for me. So things are again getting back to the weakness. Let's see what happens here. So things are again becoming weak, looking for the low of the day again. I think it's gonna sell off again. I'm thinking if I should short Nvidia. Uh, it is weak. I'm just trying to get a better entry. So Nvidia dropped 95. 95 was that level that it was trying to drop. Again, it pulled back above 95. There is definitely a buyer who's trying to start absorb all the selling at 95. Yeah, the buyers keep stepping up. So it lifts again, pops up. There's a lag on my DAS. Every single time I share my screen, my system gets very laggy. But order flow is not. So order flow, I see it. I'm trading just like I'm looking at the order flow, but the plotting of the chart is delayed. So order flow is good. I can trade the order flow. So it is gonna drop now. What a volume, guy. This is 1134 and the volume is amazing. I'm thinking of shorting Nvidia, but it's that 95 is a very strong buyer who is trying to, and the sellers are not that aggressive yet, so I'm not wanting to get in. Yeah, now it's gonna drop. Let's decrement. Yeah, now it's getting there. I think it's gonna drop. Again being absorbed right now. Oh, what an absorption. Yeah, drop now. Very good. It came back again. So very strong buyer overall. The buyer keeps buying at this area. Selling is taking over. Now it's gonna go. Now it's gonna go. 80 was buying. 94.80 was buying. 94.80 was a very strong buyer. Now they are gonna puke. Now it's gonna drop. This, yeah, now it's gonna drop. See? Ah, beauty. They all puked. All the buyers are now getting trapped. Now they'll have to exit. Ah, what a tape, man. What a beautiful tape. Beautiful tape. Now they're gonna drop more. Nice. Very nice. Boogie woogie, yeah. I love the tape, guys. People who do not know how to read the tape, guys, you're missing out. You are absolutely missing out. And that's a skill you want to master. There is no other way around. If you take this thing career seriously, please learn. Now see the level 2 guys, 94. 94 is gonna flash like a boss. 94 is gonna flush. No pullback, man. This is gonna flush very quickly. If R is your risk on one trade, how many hours do you consider a good trading per week? Do you stop trading when you hit? So Tom Addy, it's a very good question. And I don't trade with a very fixed risk reward. I have different tier sizing on depending on the confidence or the setup that I have. And I trade with different tier size. For me, it's not about the hours. I do have a dollar value in my head, and it is a percentage of my current account. And that's what I usually stop around that area. So currently for me, like from a dollar standpoint or a percentage of my account is anything between 1% and 1.5%. It's usually around that area where if I hit my 1 to 1.5% of my entire accounts this thing, then I'll stop. I'll call it a day. So sometimes I'm risking like different tier sizing. So that R, like -1 hour on the day, will not mean anything to me because my risk size is different. So for a tier 1, my -R would be a small size, but my tier 3 -R would be -1 hour would be a bigger size on terms of dollar value. But to give you a simple answer, maybe like 6 to 7 hours on a day, I would consider as a good day. Mox, yes, check out and understand the concepts on the tape reading on how you do it. Yes, it moves very fast, but once you know what to look for, you'll be able to identify it. Check out the course on my train terminal that I have. Uh, check out, it has a detailed concepts with real-time examples on how you to identify them. So check that out. I see you have a 94 Nvidia mark on level 2. Oh, level 2, okay. So like this one, like this one. Oh. So what you can do is you go to config, level 2 config, and then once you go to level 2 config, you go down, and this is where you can quote size highlight. This is where you select I've selected 90 lots, which is 9,000 shares, and anything above that, it basically fills me at 90, that highlights it right here. Anything that is more than 90 lots, it would highlight that. Yeah, thank you, Najmo. Appreciate that. I think 94 is gonna come and test that break. Popped up. 94.70. 82, 88. Yeah, it's above 88 now. That 80 was a very strong buyer, but it bought back above 88 again. So now this could be a long. A 94. If it holds the 80, 94.80, then this could be a long. It dropped 80 again. Okay, I'm long at Nvidia. Let's see if it holds the 80 this time. I'm long Nvidia. Let's see if it holds the 80. Oh, it never held the 80. 95. Okay, it's gonna drop. So my stop loss is below 50. Okay, all out. I didn't fill me. Why did it not fill me? Ah, man. I think. Ah, fuck, man. I think I mistakenly shorted Tesla. I don't know what it's gonna do now. I mistakenly shorted Tesla. I'll get out at break even if it comes to me, but I'll have to get out. Yeah, I'm getting out, guys. This is Tesla. There was a mistake. That's fucked up this thing. Yeah, I'm long on Nvidia one more time. Long on Nvidia one more time. Boom. Boom. I knew you were gonna go. I knew you were gonna go. Boom. Let's pop. Let's pop. Boom, 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 boom. 25. I see 25. That order flow. There's a lot of lag happening on my screen, so I'm not. Love you. 25 lifted, 32, 33, 36. Nice. And now I'm boom. Now I'm done. Nice. Lifted 54. Love you. I told you guys that 95.80, 95, 94.80 was a buyer, guys. Now I'm business. Now it means business. Selling some 65. Now let it break 96. Let's break 96. My level 2 has $2 spread? No, my spread is 0.02 cents on Nvidia. Man, that Tesla, that was such an idiotic hotkey error. I was trying to get out of Nvidia and I was actually shorting Tesla because I have like different screens altogether, and I was trying to get out of Nvidia on my different screen. I didn't realize it was Tesla. So what a sucker. I actually lost like $600 on that. That idiotic this move. So I should, yeah. Ah, boy, nice. Love you, man. Nvidia. Nvidia is popping up. And I was questioning myself, like there's already a lag on the chart, right? The tape is very good. The tape is, I'm trading the tape. There's a clear lag on the chart just when I share my screen. But, and I thought maybe it's the lag. It's not showing up on the chart. But, yeah, that was a bad. And those are the trades that I hate. Like, it's just like, I just gave $600 for the heck of it. But this one was my heavy size at 94.80. So yeah, I'm back strong. You know what? I'm thinking I should add more. What do you think? I think it's a good idea to add more. If this SPY squeezes to the upside, I think this can squeeze to 97. So let's see if it gives us a chance to add more. Yeah, it's actually giving us a chance to add more. And 95.20. Let's see. Okay, I'm adding more, guys. I'm adding more on Nvidia. I'll add more if it comes below 95.20. So this one is trying to hold. I think Nvidia has a squeeze left in it. I think Nvidia is gonna squeeze. Let's see if it holds here. I think it's gonna has a squeeze left in it. Boom! It popped up 95.60. Now it's back and it's 95. What that big volume came in and now I think it has that squeeze in it. I definitely want I see that squeeze in it. Squeeze to the upside, man. Squeeze to the 96. I would love to see you at 96. It's gonna squeeze, 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 squeeze. You're coming there. Come on, Nvidia. Come on. Come on. You're gonna squeeze 61. 61's gonna lift. 62. 61 lifting. Let's squeeze. Boom. 68, 71. Nice. What a beauty. What a beauty. Okay, selling some here. 75. Squeeze to 98, 96. Squeeze to 96. I love you, Nvidia. You are. Let's see if it has that squeeze again. Holds the 95.50. Very quickly dropped below 95.50. That's not a good sign, to be honest. Awesome, awesome, Mox, awesome, Neil. Great job. It's holding up nicely. I think Nvidia, I would love to see Nvidia above 96.50. I think 96.50 and 97 has in the books for Nvidia. If a SPY pops up, I think it's the buyers are taking over. Maybe they'll try to trap, maybe goes to 95, 94, 80, and then go higher, but they might generate liquidity below 95, and then it would bounce higher again. If that, I'm waiting for that, to be honest. I would have added here, but if it comes around 95 area and does that to generate liquidity, I think that would be a great call. Or drop to 95.19. Now the 95 bids is showing up. Oh, that was a bad drop. Now it's coming to my break-even point. This has to bounce. If this doesn't bounce, I'll have to get out. Yeah, no bounce at all. Yeah, no bounce at all. So I'll have to get out. Yeah, I'm out, guys. No bounce at all. So yeah, that was my trade. Yeah, I still think that they're here to generate liquidity, but I can't hold it because of I have to still respect my stop losses. Yeah, the SPY is selling off now. That 94.80 was again that buyer. 94.80 again dropped. Yeah, see that? 94.69. Yeah, you have to be very quick in this volatile times, guys. This can very quickly go against your favor, like against your direction. And it's better to get out and then think later than stay in and then keep thinking. Better out, reevaluate, and then if it comes back again, I'll get back in again. It's as simple as that. So yeah. Anyways, guys, it's top of the hour. Have a great rest of the day. I had a pretty good day, and yeah, calling it a day. Thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.
And then we go from a quick movie to
we target PCE,
197,
personal
and
consumption
that was the
expenditure
plan.
inflation, not CPI, and the two are broadly, they move they move together, but 25 years ago, the Fed switched to PCE. The public looks at CPI. It's kind of a little bit of a thing, but because we think, it's really just a better way to capture the inflation, the cost pressures that households and businesses feel. We think it's a better measure, and that's what we look at. But they're not that different. I mean, they're just, they look at different measures. Ultimately, they're pretty close together. Those things. On growth, you look at what's happening with consumer spending. The economy is overwhelmingly driven by consumer spending. So you look at how are consumer surveys, how are they feeling, how are they spending? Sometimes the surveys are very negative, but they keep spending. That's been happening really for a while. People spent right through the pandemic, and they spent right through this time of higher inflation. They kept spending, and forecasters kept thinking, like us, kept thinking that consumption would slow down. But that's a really critical thing. After that, business investment is a big chunk, and you look at that, and that is also susceptible to sentiment. Businesses, if they don't know what to do, they're not going to do an acquisition, or they're going to hold off on building a factory or a plant or hiring people and things like that. So we look at, I could go on for a long time. We look at a lot of data, and we try to make sense. We also talk to people who are in the real economy. I grew, my career was mostly in the private sector. talking to, to people who ran businesses. And for me, the story doesn't come together until I actually hear from people who are in the economy doing things and what they're feeling and seeing, and then it sort of fits together better.
This is like via the Beige Book, or just
the Beige Book. Thank you for mentioning the Beige Book, and I hope you read it.
I love the Beige Book.
See, that's great. Everyone should read the Beige Book. The Beige Book comes out sort of mid-FOMC cycle, and it's all the 12 reserve banks and all of their incredible context, what they're saying about what's going on in the economy. So if you want to know, you can look at the national data, but if you want to know what's going on in regions and at different industries, you look at the Beige Book. So it's really a critical thing. And actually, the reserve bank system that we have is an enormous strength of the Federal Reserve System. We have these 12 reserve banks with their own, economics departments and own participants on the FOMC. So that's a great thing to look at.
I'd like to ask you about another body of work that many of us know that you're familiar with, and that's the Grateful Dead. So, question for you, sir. American Beauty or Terrapin Station?
American Beauty.
Well, it's not even a pause.
Not even close.
That was
Ask me a
so
hard one.
fast.
That's my era. That's my era.
Working Man's Dead
Yes.
or Europe 72?
Oh, both. Yeah, that's my era. We're in the same era here. So that's, for me, it's late 60s to mid 70s. So you're.
Touch of Grey, what do you think?
It was their only hit, but it's a good song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally,
Are we going to do this?
I feel like you're speaking another language.
there's a well-known Grateful Dead bootlegger who, with I believe the permission of the band, Dick's Picks, who's put out. So, what's your recommendation of those hundreds of?
I don't have any Dick's Picks. Like I said, my real interest was late 60s to mid 70s.
Yeah.
And I saw them a bunch of times, and I know every note on every song from that era. But since then, I've been busy, actually.
Well, we thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us here, and we appreciate your work.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jim.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell there concluding his remarks at the Save You conference in